Good morning, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Alicante, Spain. We are here for the fifth and last stop of the 2022 APP World Tour. This is the big finale. This is the decider for the world title. And I'm feeling so lucky to be co-hosting this great event with an absolute legend of the sport, Travis Grant. How's it going?
Morning, Matthew. Thank you. It's great to be here in Alicante, Spain. This is my first time at this beautiful location. Sun's shining, the water's quite warm, apparently. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the day of sprints today.
Yeah, it's definitely a fantastic location to be here in. Alicante is 300,000 inhabitants, so it's a pretty decent sized city. The weather is beautiful all year long, and today is no exception with the sun out. So fantastic way to finish the APP World Tour with this fifth event of the tour, which started in June in Santa Monica.
USA.
What a great event in Santa Monica. And then we had London, we had Busan in Korea, Paris last week, and today Alicante. And Paris last week was actually a whole different story with minus temperatures, basically, very cold. 14K long distance. What did you make of it?
Now let's touch back on last week, Paris. Very different as far as racing. Said freezing cold water in the middle of the city. It's a special thing, paddling down the river at the sides. If you've never done it, it's one of those races you should try and do. Last week was beautiful, but very freezing cold. Even the men had to wait in the line. They were shivering. Last week, T2 in Paris put on a clinic. Basically, him and Bruno were sort of battling neck and neck. What was interesting about Paris last week is Connor, the tour leader, was there. Obviously, flew away from Hawaii, trying to get some big points, and he got, we don't know what he got. I think he was 15th. He ran out the back, which was very unlike Connor. So he's got his work cut out for him today, because him and Itzel's in the lead now.
Absolutely, yeah. So a bit of an underperformance, to say the least, for Connor Baxter from Hawaii. But I have the feeling he was feeling under the weather. Really, he had I saw him after the race. He had a cold, so he had a pretty rough time on the Seine River.
It's around 3 degrees. You can see by the pictures, 3 degrees Celsius, roughly 36 Fahrenheit. So
absolutely, and Titouan Puyol made his signature move. You know, he was controlling the race with battling it out with Bruno and also Clément Colmas and Manuel Oyuela, but he managed to make
and in the women
take the victory. And then Espe started way earlier at the front, and she managed to stay at the front until the end. Unfortunately for us, these two athletes are not here in Alicante, but there's definitely going to be some big battles with top names, top international athletes here on the beach of El Postiguet in the heart of the city. We've got 32 international men and 10 international women. So we've got this afternoon a total of 28 sprint races on the course of 300 meters. We are going to go through that in a minute. So some really top names coming from all around the world. And we're going to have some repechage rounds and so on. So we're going to be together for, I think, 4 hours.
But the main thing that's going to happen this weekend is the winner is going to be crowned, the overall winner. This is the last stop for APP this year. There is no Jeddah on the calendar. We'll cross the Tristan soon on that to get his take on it. But what we'll do now is we're going to talk about the men first. Who we think is going to, what is happening this weekend, and what's your take on that?
Well, there's definitely a lot at stake. There's several competitions in one. First of all, there's the Alicante SUP Open ranking. There is the sprint world ranking today. We'll know who is actually crowned world champions in the sprint for the APP World Tour. And obviously there is tomorrow we will know who will be crowned the overall APP World Tour champion. Let's start with the women. We actually have done the math already, and we know that April Zielg is the overall champion for the 2022 APP World Tour. What we don't know yet is who is going to be the sprint and long distance world champion. So there's a lot at stake also in the women's, despite knowing who is the actually APP World Tour champion with April Zielg. So some battles expected between April, Juliette Duhaime, Ji-won Choi from Korea. She's currently sitting fourth in the overall standings. But there are also some big names who are not really going for the APP World Tour title, but who could create definitely some havoc in that race. I'm thinking Mélanie Lafrenière, who is having a fantastic year this year. She's got a European title. She's got an ICF World title as well. I'm thinking Iona Rivet, Caterina Stenta, Cecilia Pampinella. Watch out for Cecilia Pampinella from Italy. She won literally everything in the junior races, whether at the European Championships, at the ICF, at the ISA World Championships. And she was also fourth in the women's in Puerto Rico and at the ISA, on the ISA Sprint. So today might also be Cecilia's day coming out of Italy. Yeah.
I look forward to watching the women race. I have every year. I say the beginning of the season, they've gotten better and better and better every event they come to. This is going to be nice flat water. It's going to be really good to see. While we're talking about the water, Holly is down on the beach with APP's CEO, Tristan Boxford. Holly, Tristan, 2023, I believe.
Thank you, Mathieu. Thank you, Travis. Yes, I'm here beachside with CEO of the APP World Tour, Tristan Boxford. Tristan, what a season. We've been around the world and back again. Before we start the last race of the season, let's just reflect on 2022. How's it been?
You know, it's just great to be back in action. COVID took us out there. I think all sports out for a few years. It's great to see the tour back in action. Had some spectacular venues, as you mentioned, from London, LA, of course, Busan, Paris last week in the freezing cold, and now we're here in sunny and beautiful Alicante. So it's nice to be here.
And I don't want to get ahead of ourselves too much because we still have world champions to crown this weekend, but give us a little insight into 2023.
We've got a great season lined up. It's really gone from strength to strength looking ahead to next year. We'll be back here in Alicante, of course. We've got some new stops on the way. We've got some of the favorites still there, like London and Paris, and Busan, obviously. So it's going to be a great season, and we'll be announcing very shortly, so stand by.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tristan. I'm going to put it back to Mathieu and Travis in the studio.
Yeah, we touched upon the women's. Let's now talk about what's at stake for the men's. There is that big battle that we've been talking about all week on social media between Itzel Delgado, who's managed to overtake Conor Baxter in the overall ranking, and Conor Baxter. There's still that race going on also for the sprint title today.
I'm impressed with Itzel this year. He's always been around. I didn't know how close he really was to taking the overall. Conor Baxter doesn't need an introduction. Very dominant over the years. He's at whatever age he is, late 20s. He's a veteran on the course. You know, he's still a young kid and he's considered a veteran. Everyone knows how good he is. This year, his distance racing has really fallen away, which has allowed people like Itzel, who are very good overall, Shuri or Shrimpy, again, very good at both disciplines, knocking on the door. I mean, hey, you got to be good at both disciplines here. So Conor should win the sprint this weekend. Overall, he has to have a good distance result to win the overall APP. I was chatting to him on the beach. He definitely wants to win the overall. He's nervous.
Yes, he is. But you know, he can handle the pressure. Can he? He's showing it year after year, and he's actually had an amazing season once again. Conor back with a world title at the ISA in World Championship in Puerto Rico in the sprints, another gold medal at the ICF World Championship. He started this APP World Tour with 2 wins, I believe, actually 1 win in the technical racing in the sprints against Arthur Aritkin. There was that real big sprint between the two men. So yeah, once again, a fantastic season for Conor Baxter, who's leading in the sprint rankings right now with 20,000 points. In second place in the sprints ranking, we've got, unfortunately, someone who's not here today. It's Rai Taguchi.
Yeah, another young, impressive, very young and impressive kid.
Absolutely, from Japan, who's got a shoulder injury. So he's currently recovering from that and focusing already on his 2023 season. But in third place, we've got Itzel Delgado. So there's, I mean, yeah, Itzel, if he overperforms today, matching potentially an underperformance from Connor. He could potentially take the sprint crown, but it's definitely going to be difficult for him.
Also, the informed paddler, for sure, is Shrimpy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How old is the kid? He's a young kid.
16.
He's had, obviously, ISA was very, very impressive results, what he did, peaking at the right time. However, we do have to cross quickly to the round 1 heat.
Yes.
Take it away, Matthew.
Absolutely, we've got Itzel Delgado from Peru, Will Kitley from the UK, Leonard Nica from Italy, and Javier Moreno Ribe from Spain.
So we have 8 heats today for the men, and then obviously the winner from the heat will go straight into the quarterfinal. Second and third will go on to a repechage to have their chance to get into the quarterfinals. Speaking of quarterfinals, World Cup quarterfinals are on this weekend as well.
Absolutely.
Not quite as exciting as this, I understand, but they're not too bad tonight. So after watching this, we can go and watch the World Cup, which will be starting right after these sprint races, to be honest. We should be here roughly 3 to 4 hours getting all the sprints done.
Yeah.
We've got obviously all the men, all the women, and spicy stuff will be in the afternoon with the sprint finals.
And guess what, Travis? France is playing today.
We're in Spain, so yes, there's a lot of French here, there's a few Portuguese here as well. So as you see, heat 1, obviously, of course, Itzel should be the favourite. Nothing going wrong. Oh no, well,
watch out
I
for
lie.
Leonica. The over-experienced Leonica, the
feisty
Italian stallion.
So very good. I've raced both of these characters. Obviously, sprinting definitely suited to more the young people. The course today, they haven't shown the course. Anthony Vella, race director, once again, is a little bit busy, so he didn't get to run through the course. But it's quite a short sprint course where there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 5 buoy turns.
5 buoys.
Only thing that could go wrong is if you break a paddle. It's kind of the only thing I could see really that could get him. There's no
Or if
waves.
you fall at one of those buoys.
The wind, the wind is a little bit offshore. It's coming from your sort of, if you're paddling out, it's coming over your right shoulder.
Yeah.
So the big mountain you can see behind, there's a big castle up there. We just walked up that this morning, actually called Santa Barbara, believe it or not. Not the USA. Santa Barbara Castle, beautiful backdrop. So we walked up there this morning, had a look at the race course. You could see the wind blowing offshore, off to the angle.
Yeah.
Which is making for the beautiful clean water down there. It shouldn't switch. The wind's the only thing that could sort of help guys like Shrimpy, Archer, guys that sort of like the bump, aren't going to get that assistance today, as you're going to see after this first heat, how sort of flat it is out there. So it's going to be pure skill, pure speed.
Yeah. Yeah, watch out for Will Kitley, the guy on the Infinity there from the tall guy. The other guy on the Infinity is obviously Itzel, the Peruvian prince. And Will is from Kingsbridge in Dorset.
That's you.
All right, two starboard, 2 Infinity.
Yeah.
SUP.
Itzel looks ready.
Pretty ready,
looks
huh?
Intense.
Absolutely. Look at how low Leonica is. They are for the first race of the day in this APP World Tour competition. Good start by Itzel Delgado.
Very clean. Only 4 people on the line. They should all get away cleanly. Not like the old days when there was like 100 people on the line.
Yep.
So yes, obviously it's between Itzel and Leo. However, it's not the first 2. It's the first 1 goes straight through. So sometimes in heats you might slow down and I'm going to qualify, but not. The first one's the only one that goes straight through. So to get second, you got to race again.
And Leo has got the inside, so is first at the first buoy. 4 buoys to go. Itzel Delgado is just behind him. We've got Will Kitley from the UK in 3rd and Javier Moreno Ribe in 4th from Spain.
They distance themselves pretty quickly. I mean, these are 2 very elite paddlers. Itzel's winning the overall, as we know.
So since they're going for first position, what could happen in the next 4 buoys, Travis?
Aggressive already.
Ooh.
Inside, everyone wants the inside line. Obviously, problem with the inside is you can see the other board on the outside can block your paddle, so it can block your turn.
Good move by Leo, who went far out in order to have a clean turn, and that has managed to keep him at the
as
first
you can
position.
see, it's slight headwind on this leg. It's only a slight headwind. After the center buoy now.
So the next buoy is right-hand turn. Still Leonica, the Italian stallion on starboard in first place. Ooh, watch out for that nose, and Itzel goes down.
There's the wind. That's exactly what I was saying before. Obviously, it's their first time out in the course. The wind did blow them into the buoy, so...
And there's a bit of a gap now, 10 meters?
He knows he knows that now. So I'm going to say Leo's probably going to run away with this and have to miss the repechage, and not too worried about Itzel. He'll definitely get through the repechage.
Yes.
But Leo's good. I mean, everyone's sort of Leo's he's one of the older in the field, but he's very fast.
Yeah, of course. And there's another Nika on the beach today, and that's Claudio, the 2019 world champion, sprint world champion.
As you can see, that's the final buoy heading home. Again, slight headwind on the way home. As you can see, they're sort of crouched down a little lower. Wow. The splash coming off the nose.
It's almost
the wind's actually picked up.
Downwind conditions almost.
Well, it's
coming
offshore.
from the right hand side.
Yeah, it's offshore, so it doesn't actually help. Oh wow, Itzel's having
great
a go.
sprint. Itzel is making maybe a comeback for first position, the one that qualifies you straight to the quarterfinals. But no, Leonica is not having it. He crosses the finish line in first, followed by Itzel Delgado from Peru, who goes to repechage.
It's all right. Itzel repechage. It obviously doesn't help for the final, having to do an extra race than everyone else. As you can see, the wind has definitely picked up offshore. Again, it's still beautiful on the beach. I'm guessing a lot of the riders watched that first heat and saw what happened when you take that buoy too close when the wind's pushing you into it. Itzel, professional paddler, fell in. It's very rare for the good guys to fall in.
And here comes Will Kitley. All right, here's the replay. So great start by Itzel and Leonica, who are in charge in this first heat. Leonica at the front, followed by Itzel Delgado in second on the Infinity.
Where he fell right there. Again, the wind just pushed his board. Not much you can do. Again, I don't think he'll do that again. I'm not sure many people will try and make a move on that buoy. Yeah, good comeback at the end. Itzel had pushed Leo.
Yeah.
Came up short. Doesn't matter.
Have the stamina. Okay, this is one mistake that you know you can't make again for Itzel Delgado, who's definitely going for much higher than this second place in heat number one. And
Leo's missed a couple of races this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I think he's getting more selective, basically, and
family.
Actually, family for sure. And I would say the same thing with Connor. Actually, I remember Connor Baxter saying already 3 years ago that he was really picking the races that were fun for him to attend, and strangely enough, that means shorter in distances.
Yeah.
So really focusing on sprint racing and technical racing.
There's a lot of people who are starting to separate between sprints and distance. We have Michael Booth doing distance, even Tituan's maybe going to do more distance, where Connor's going to focus on the sprints.
Yeah. All right, I think we've got Holly with the winner. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with heat number one winner, Leonica. Leo, you absolutely smashed that. How was it?
Oh, yeah, I was super fast. I hit that first buoy in first place, so I had to control the course. And yeah, Itzel tried to get into the side, really strategic. But then the wind and my strongest part is the left turn, so I could manage to get there in front and keep the whole course, the control of the course. And yeah, and on the last one, I saved a little bit energy for this last sprint, so Itzel came right next to me and ran to the beach. It was pretty cool, yeah, a bit out of breath because I was pushing a lot, and then yeah, it was fun. It's good to be here in Alicante and really enjoying the weather here and the race.
Well, straight through to round three, Leo. Congrats, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Holly, and thank you, Leo. What a great way for Leo to start this competition. This is day one, and we have a full afternoon of sprint racing this afternoon. This is
Leo went
number 5.
Leo went a little bit harder than I think he wanted to. He's out of breath
already.
It's also, we're in Spain. It's quite dry, very dry mouth. So guys are going to he found a little bit a little shorter in breath than he expected. Yep. Again, adapt quickly. See how his training goes. Looking forward to, heat 2 should be coming up any minute now.
Yeah. Oh, you talked about Leonica's races this year. He actually did the SUP 11 City Tour. Did you know that?
Sorry.
All right. Moving on to heat number 2 with the Frenchman Martin Vitry from Hungary, Bruno Sulio, Fernando Brotons from Spain, and Jose Rombeu from Spain as well.
Martin Vitry's back.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Well, He made a comeback actually after a couple of years not racing much at the French National Championship a couple of months ago, and he was on the podium.
Young, talented athlete, for sure, very for sure. But I'd say the favourite for this would have to be Bruno.
Yeah,
Admits he doesn't make any mistakes.
absolutely.
He's on, you know, he can be tippy board. There's Martin been training. I'm not sure. Like, it's gonna be another close
Martin's
race.
just coming back from a surf trip in Indonesia, so I'm not entirely sure he's fully trained specifically for this competition.
Okay, here we go.
We'll see in a second. So NSP starboard, ex-Bionic and starboard. Hit number 2, Anthony Vella. I've got some last word to say to the 4 athletes.
So we've got Martin in red, Bruno in white, Fernando in blue, and on the NSP
It's
is Jose.
Jose. I think we're ready. Oh, good start, good run by Martin Vitru. Look at Fernando Brotons as well, looking good. I think the guy starting on the left might have the inside advantage. We'll see. But
Fernando.
wow, Fernando Brotons, Moreno. What an amazing start.
What a start.
I didn't expect that.
Wow.
And,
he's on the starboard, and Bruno's a long way back off the start.
Yeah, there's a full board's length behind Martin Vitry. We'll
Be
see
careful on
if
this turn with the wind. As you can see, they got pushed straight into the buoy, but got around. Yeah, it's a tough first buoy. Jose's having a little bit of trouble. So we got, who's that in front?
that's Fernando
Yeah.
Brotons, Moreno in first. Martin Vitry now trying to make a move maybe between buoy number 1 and number 2 and trying to catch up and maybe coming back. Bruno Sulio from Hungary on the ex-Bionic board. Now the 2 starboards are reaching buoy number 2. Martin Vitry had the inside. He is now in first position.
He is. Not sure what Bruno should do here. Obviously 2 and 3 go straight through to the repechage. 1, if you're third, maybe you conserve. You're on repechage anyway, you know, like don't kill myself to try and catch the leader. You're not going to catch the leader now. So, yeah, got hung up on that buoy. Poor Jose. He had a good start. Oh, sorry, Jose. Not Jose.
Fernando Brotons,
sorry.
Moreno, yeah.
And maybe he went a little too hard. Phew, Martin just coming off the bench, leading the first heat. It's got to feel good. Yeah, Bruno's coming back.
Oh, and Bruno now taking second position, maybe in that on the inside of that buoy, and Jose Rumbeo.
Wow, he did a turn
From,
without even moving his feet.
Yeah, I think Jose is actually the president of one of the big local clubs.
Oh, here in Spain?
Here, yeah, absolutely. Here
Fantastic.
around
Alicante.
Alicante. Alicante is a bit of a hub for some racing, not just in Spain, but in the world.
You should see it. Yeah, we should get some pictures hopefully and show you how big their school is here. It's beyond impressive what Daniel Paris is doing down here.
Yeah, the organizing club, Paris Watersport, has got 200 SUP racers, members of the club. I think that's
incredible.
unmatched worldwide.
The local legend down here, and rightly so when you meet him. So yeah, it's just a heat. So obviously a lot of racing. Once your position's sorted, you want to conserve as much as you can.
Ooh,
You just
is
wanna get
Martin
through.
Vitry being a little cheeky there? He should be a bit careful. Very
He's
slow.
experienced enough. So Martin straight through to the quarterfinals, and unfortunately Bruno and Fernando will have to do the repechage. So they
Yeah.
have to race once again. So yeah, it is what it is. That's racing. Incredible start by
You
Fernando.
called Bruno Sulio the favorite
I
for this.
did. He
heat,
came back,
and,
of course, but nowhere near. Bruno's not known for his sprinting. He's definitely more of a a distance horse. He's a high cadence, tap, 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 tap. Very fit.
Yeah.
Very fit.
And here we have the start, the replay with Fernando Brotons Moreno. Pretty unknown. I didn't know his name until today. So he did really well for the first 2 buoys. But Martin Vitry,
A little more experience maybe on the turns.
Absolutely.
Canoe. Bruno made his way back up. A lot of effort for the same result to get second. So well done, Martin. I definitely want to go to the beach and catch up. He's stoked. He's also
happy.
went a little harder than he. They're all coming across the line a little exhausted. It's one of those things you have to conserve. But you also can't miss out. So
absolutely.
So heat 2 again. No,
And we've got Holly with Martin Vitry. Take it away, Holly.
probably still trying to catch his breath, to be honest. There he is.
Won his heat. Martin, how was the heat?
Yeah, it was really good. I'm happy to be back on tour on the sprints. I love this format and I like Spain. It's good crowd, good conditions.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, short and sweet. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Martin.
Congratulations, Martin.
Going straight to the quarterfinals then, and we are
Lining
moving
up,
on
heat
to,
three.
Heat three.
So it's
Who have we got?
Yep, we got Claudia Nica, Leo's younger brother. Very fast starter.
Yes.
Very impressed with his
The
starts.
2019, I say, sprint world champion, Claudio Nica. We also have a young man, Sergio Cantoral from Spain. He's the junior world champion in technical racing at the ICF World Championship earlier this year. We've got Unax Echeverria from the Basque Country here in Spain, and Teo Ugueda Lopez from Alicante, or Santa Pola rather. So
Three
yeah,
Spanish?
should
Three
be
Spanish,
three
you said?
Spanish, but one of them is, I guess, is faster than the others. That's Sergio Cantoral, but it should be an easy win though for Claudio Nica. That's theoretically, of course. Claudio Nica wearing a red lycra shirt with a starboard, and they're ready to go.
They're off.
So 1 Italian, 3 Spaniards. And Claudio Nica
clear.
will have the inside. Ooh, a shaky start for the guy in yellow there. But Claudio
Teo.
Nica is already at the front. I think Teo Ugueda Lopez took a dive early. Ooh, look at who's coming back onto Claudio.
Yeah, Sergio.
Looks like it's Sergio Cantoral from Santa Pola.
Yeah, Claudia's not going that hard. He's just doing enough to control the race, which is smart racing. Claudia's very experienced racer. Definitely better at sprints in the distance.
Yeah.
They're very aggressive races. All Italian races are, right?
Yeah,
You have
but-
to be. I mean,
But because this technical race, I mean, this sprint is pretty much a technical race, it's a short technical race. He could do really well today.
you
Claudio.
can't make a mistake. You got to turn clean. Once you're in this position, it's very hard to pass someone. The only place to really pass is if you're a much superior paddler, and you could probably do it in this downwind leg, or the turn. You've got to sneak your board in, be aggressive on the turns.
And
And you
let's-
see this one here, he got pushed. Claudio didn't get pushed. He actually just himself with the wind just went a little wide. Sergio could have come on the inside. You know, it looks easy, but
Yeah.
you know, to put yourself in that power position, squat, turn around, the heart rate's through the roof. You know, you got to boards are extra tippy these days too. Built for speed.
Yeah.
The professional paddlers, they look a little tippy on the turns. Again, they're choosing a fast board that they can hopefully have enough stability on the turn to get by. But
Yeah.
probably going to say Claudia's going to walk away with this one. He's in control. He's not going too hard.
Absolutely.
Good paddle by Sergio.
Yeah, Sergio Cantoral, that young kid,
Easy.
is a new name to watch out for, definitely. Along with the likes of Vaik Gariou and other junior boys like that who are doing really well on the international scene already.
Yeah.
So sitting in second place right now, but Claudio Nica won a European title in the sprints.
Oh, he did?
This year,
Oh, I'm
absolutely.
surprised.
Did really well in
Sergio's having
Ville de Sande in Denmark in September. And yeah, totally in control here, giving a last push on his starboard, aiming to towards the arch, the APP World Tour arch on the finish line.
It looks like there's a little tiny bump coming in. Little tiny bump. Hopefully that stays, and it might, you know, the chance to try and make a move is that last turn. If you can last turn and then try and catch onto one. However, you are into a headwind, so it does make it a little bit difficult. Well done, Sergio. Yeah, he's young.
Yeah,
He's
Sergio
young.
Cantoral. In third, we have.
Oh, sorry. The blue.
In third, we have
Unax.
Unax Echeverria, and now comes Teo Ugueda Lopez from Paris Water Sports. And I believe we've got the replay coming up. Let's see how it went at the start for Claudio Nica. Here we go.
Claudio ran a lot further than
Great
everyone else.
start.
Obviously, it's a gradual beach, so you can run a little further if you want. And we didn't see Sergio. The camera from the outside just came flying around, trying to keep up Claudio. Claudio was in control for sure the whole race. I don't think he was around a threat. Very good race by Sergio.
So, what strategy to use at the start of this race when you know you've got the wind coming from the right hand side? Do you have to put your paddle on the left to make sure that you go against the wind?
Well, actually, we just got word that Holly's on the beach with Claudia. Holly, what has Claudia got to say about his heat 3?
guys. I'm with Claudio Nica, who just absolutely smashed heat number 3 for the men. Leo won earlier, now Claudio. What are your parents feeding you? How was the heat?
Yeah, I mean, with Leo, we're a good team. I'm happy to pass also with in the quarterfinals, and I can't wait to try the next one. So, very happy to be here in the IPP World Tour final in Alicante. See you in the quarterfinals.
Epic. Thanks, Claudio. Back to you guys in the studio.
Than I thought.
Exactly. He's the youngest of the Nica brothers. But yeah, two Nica brothers already qualified for the quarterfinals. So Italy doing well so far in this competition. Yeah, I was asking Travis. So at the start, are you meant to paddle against the wind? Ooh, we've got heat 4 coming up. Hold on. Arthur Arikin from France in red. Blue Ewer from England in white. Asger Schmidt from Denmark. And there's another Dane, Rasmus, in 4th. Yeah, it's going to be a tight one as well. Watch out for Blue Ewer. He's very experienced. Is the undefeated UK champion for the past 3 or 4 years.
Wow, I wonder if Arthur knows that. I mean, Arthur, well, veteran APP paddler, been here a lot.
Yeah.
On and off the scene.
2018
champion.
APP World Tour champion.
Talented as hell. Has he been? Let's see how he goes. On paper, he's the favourite.
He is.
However, Blue, like you said.
Yeah.
He might.
Cool name, Blue, huh?
Yeah, really
Blue
cool
Ewer.
name. I was saying that before off camera. That's a name. He's got a blue board, of course.
He's got the JP Australia, the blue JP Australia. Of course, Arthur Arikin is on the Fanatic board. We also have Asger Schmidt in with the blue Lycra on starboard, and then Rasmus on the Fanatic board. Ooh, shaky start for all of them actually.
Yeah,
but Arthur is at the front.
I mean, Arthur knows he's a sprint champion. He's also a distance, very good at the distance. Not if you got to be training for the distance. He's on a new board as well. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I think he can do well. We'll see how he goes, see how he looks compared to the likes of the real sprinters, you know, Connor, Christian Anderson's also very good. They're all coming up next heats. It's still heat 4, we're halfway through the heats.
Whoa.
Oh, Arthur's really going for it. He's trying to stamp his authority.
What a cadence. Just after that first buoy, went into full-on sprint mode just to distance himself for another 5 meters from Blue Ewer. He's actually making a comeback as we're approaching buoy number 2.
This is a turn, they get sort of blown out. There was backhand for Archer, so it's easier always on a backhand turn. We saw Blue has a forehand turn, so he's not quite as quick, not quite as comfortable. However, Archer's going to have to do a forehand turn. Blue's got the backhand. He might be able to catch up on this one. I'm not sure if he's going to try and path Archer. I don't think he will in this heat. Arthur, again, very solid, very talented.
Yeah, absolutely.
Young, he's still only 25.
Wow. Is he?
I was on the beach, I was like, how old are you now, 30? He's like, no, I'm 25. I was like a veteran at 25 years old already.
Wow, so great frontside turn. Here comes the backside turn for Arthur Arikin in first place, but Blue Ewer doesn't let go of that tail. Look at that. He is in second position. We might have maybe an upset still, a bit of a surprise in the next 50 meters, because the race is not over with such a short distance between these two athletes at the front.
The heats have been pretty evenly classed. We've always had 2 breakaway and go for it. So when we get to the quarterfinals, it's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. Trying to fit 4 good guys around the turn. Yeah, Arthur, easy win. Going a little harder than I expected, to be honest.
But you know why he's doing this? Because he's a slow runner on the beach.
He's those long legs.
Oh, you remember that Santa Monica sprint race between Arthur and Connor, where Arthur was winning. If the race had been 10 meters shorter, Arthur would have won. But Connor was just a fast runner on the beach.
You got to start and you got to finish, running. So it's dynamic. It's great to watch. I like the starts on the land, finish on the land. We can do it. The sport allows it. Great for the spectators. And adds an extra dynamic. And the yellow was Rasmus Westerman.
Rasmus Westerman from Klitmøller.
He's
called Hawaii.
The last person in each heat unfortunately does miss out. 2 and 3 will have another chance to make the quarterfinals. So replay here, Archer and Blue, both, yeah, like I said, not as fast a start as the other guys.
No.
But then Archer really did put his foot down, wasn't going to let anyone pass. With these sprint races, it is kind of a race to the first buoy, you know. You get there first, it's very hard to get past someone on this track.
What I'm impressed with is this last stretch of water where Arthur really gave a last push.
He looks fit.
And yeah, looking strong. I think Holly is with Arthur actually right now. We can...
Thanks guys. He was unlucky last week in Paris, but starting very strong this week in Alicante. Arthur, how was that heat?
Yeah, it was really tight, really short heat, and conditions are great, a bit difficult, but ready for the weekend.
Epic. Back to you guys in the studio. Thank you.
Yeah, looking good. So hold on, 2 Italians, 2 Frenchmen. That has to say something for the start of this competition.
Yes, you're right.
The 2 Mika brothers and Martin Vitry and Arthur Arikin. So
well, coming up, we got a bit of heat 5. We on screen right now.
Shrimpy Shuri Araki wasn't in Paris, but he is definitely coming strong with his first heat for the Japanese Riccardo Rossi. The Italian, he'll be on Infinity. Pampinella, his first name Tommaso, of course, Tommaso Pampinella from Italy as well, and Santi Canto from Spain in the yellow lycra. Shuri Araki, who's just picked 2 gold medals at the ISA Stand-Up Paddle World Championships in Puerto Rico.
He won the technical race, won the distance race against a stacked field. Tituan was there, Connor was there,
Michael Booth was there.
So very
Noe
stacked
Gayu
field.
was there.
And
he managed to beat them all at 16 years old.
I'm not easily impressed. I was very impressed. I even wrote him a message after the race. It's like, wow, like congratulations. So unfortunately, he missed Paris. Again, Paris is very cold. I even spoke to him. He's like, whoa, like some people not used to cold. Wasn't going to have a good race. More for family reasons, he could not make it. But he's here today he's 16 to learn. I mean, every race he learns. He's getting better and better and better. He's had some unlucky sprints, to be honest, in APP this year. He's good enough, but whether you make a mistake or you get put in Connor's heat, you know, he just sort of got unlucky every race. So I'm expecting big things from him, but at the same time, sprints are hard. It's very hard to Timmy Donovan.
Well, he definitely likes it when there's definitely a bump or 2 or more like waves.
He's a very good waterman already at such a young age. From Okinawa in Japan. They are an island, so they have no choice but to be good in the water. So
grew up in a fishing village. And here he is with the world's best. Actually, at the top of his game at 16 years old already.
Well, how fast is rating?
Oh, that's a really fast start.
Who's that in the blue?
Tommaso Pampinella, most likely on the with the blue lycra. But at the front, look who's reaching buoy number 1 in first. That's Shrimpy, aka Shuri Araki from Okinawa, Japan, on the NSP board. He likes to use NSP and Infinity actually.
So that's his strength right now.
Wow, he's already got a 10 meter.
That's definitely his strength. I mean, even the young kids, for some reason, they just know how to turn these boards. Like I said, it's very energy taxing. Oh, he's downwind. Downwind. So he had a turn and a downwind. So he'll see where the field is now after this turn. Again, watch his turn.
Oh wow!
That's an upwind turn. Now that's very taxing. So he's seeing what he has. He's definitely backed off a little. He's definitely recovering. Tommaso, is it?
Tommaso Pampinella. I like to call him the gladiator. This guy is huge. He's all about muscles. And he's actually Cecilia Pampinella's older brother. So yeah, it's a family thing.
She'll be racing later.
Yes, she will. Yes. She will definitely. Junior world champion.
No question about it. Shrimpy has shown. Now, how fast is he off the start compared to someone like Connor? You know, he can turn as better as anyone, but if he doesn't get that turn first, he can't use his turning ability, his agility to get past. So it's going to be very interesting when you have a Connor or even a Claudia Nica speed off the start. Can Shrimpy keep up with him? Can he match him? Boards are tippy. So I'm going for Shrimpy. from Japan.
Yeah.
NSP, Quick Blade. Yeah, very impressive. One to watch for the
You're
future.
familiar with those two brands. So yeah, Shrimpy at the front, pretty
he should be conserving.
comfortable.
If it was me. I should talk to him.
Yeah, pretty comfortable win for Shrimpy. He's always traveling with his dad, who is also his coach.
Taku,
Traveling
yes.
with his family.
Also a legendary paddler in the early days.
Yeah, and I think also a surf
life saving
athlete.
Yep. Surf life saving, absolutely. They spent a lot of time in Hawaii. His dad, he's done Molokai, his father. So
Many times,
when we were
I
paddling, yeah.
Tommaso
he's a
Pampinella,
beast.
Il Gladiatore from Italy.
And yell at Santi.
And we haven't seen much of Riccardo Rossi, who's just crossed the line right now in white.
Is he related to Valentino Rossi by chance?
Sorry?
Is he related to Valentino Rossi at all?
I don't think he is, but he's definitely a fast paddler. He's one of the Infinity Speed freaks. He's been doing really well in the European races, Riccardo Rossi. But in fourth, who's just crossed the line, that was Santi Canto.
He'll have to watch the rest of the race. We'll probably cross to the replay. You can see Shrimpy on the beach there. Cross to replay first, and then we'll get a interview with Shrimpy. Here we go. He ran further, yeah. They ran.
Oh, he did.
Again, every heats ran a little deeper and deeper. Shrimpy short. Not sure that was the right move. Again, you know, these are guys we're seeing it. We're watching. Hopefully, the athletes are doing the same thing. It's a very easy beach start today.
My gut feeling is that Shrimpy is already very mature. I interviewed him, and he was definitely insisting on the fact that he tries to and stay relaxed at all times during his racing.
That's said it was Tommaso in second, so he goes to repechage, and then Riccardo Rossi, who we didn't see, is also going into the repechage after the sprints. No interview, sorry, with Shrimpy. They didn't get to talk. So we are. What's next? Heat 6.
Heat 6 already.
Heat 6 has only got 3 athletes. It looks here. Looks like someone might have pulled out last minute. So we'll wait till it comes up on the screen to fill you in on that. The wind's still cross shore, as you can see. Boats facing out to sea, offshore, cross shore. Which is great for the start.
Do you think that that small ripple could make a difference at some point?
I hope so. So yes, 73 this race.
So Christian Andersen, he was actually third in the long distance last week in Paris from Denmark. He had a pretty good race. I'll talk about that later. But in white, we've got Ivan Frutos. Watch out for Ivan Frutos, who managed to beat for the first time Rafael Sirvent, who's also in this heat. So the young 17-year-old Ivan Frutos with long blonde hair, and Rafael Sirvent, one of the top technical racers in Spain. Rafael Sirvent, always part of Team Spain. Was also in Puerto Rico a few weeks ago for the ISA SUP World Championship. It's funny actually to have these two local athletes. Actually, they're from the same club, racing together in this opening round. I'm not sure if there's going to be any disqualifier, as they are 3. So they're probably
they'll all get a second chance. Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for the numbers. So yeah. So not as important. The winner basically gets an extra rest. Christian Andersen would probably be the favourite. However, he's also young, very young heat. Let's see what happens. I said my money's on Christian for this win, but again, it's not that important. They all get to go again, so this is a good practice run.
So 1 Fanatic and 2 starboards, Denmark versus Spain.
Cold Hawaii, as they call Denmark.
Cold Hawaii versus Santa Pola.
Christian's in the red.
And Polar Bear getting ready. Ooh.
Oh, Christian.
Shaky start by Christian. Come on, Christian.
Recover. A lot more agile. Let's see. Hard to tell this angle who's actually leading between the 2 youngsters, Rafael and Ivan in the white. Yeah, Rafael Sirvent in blue. I think he's got the inside advantage there. He does. And reaching that buoy in first, and is also the fastest by the look of it. And Ivan Frutos, another up-and-coming Spanish SUP racer, reaching the first buoy in second place. Christian Andersen, a bit unlucky on his start. Hopefully won't be making that mistake again in the competition. Trying to overtake now. Ivan, I think is going to be able to do it just before
buoy number 2.
He's on the outside though. Rafael obviously had a good turn and
That was
turn
a
and burn.
huge comeback by Christian, already in second.
Used a lot of energy though, so let's see. Oh, good turn, very good turn by Christian Andersen. Oh,
And maybe
from
closing
Ivan.
closing in on Rafael Sirvent as well. That race is not over for sure.
yeah, Christian won't be happy, of course. He knows he'd like to win, confidence-wise as well. But at the same time, he knows he's not gonna. He gets the second chance, so it's not too hard for him. It's a beautiful day.
And Rafael Sirvent, I believe he is the Spanish champion in technical racing, actually.
Rafael.
Rafael Sirvent, yeah, in blue, and very, very strong Spanish paddler, trained by
Christian.
Daniel Paredes, of course.
The legend Daniel Paris.
Oh, what's
on
just
the
happened
beach.
to Christian Andersen?
He's conceded. He's decided to save his energy for the repechage and go through that. Honestly, smart move. He tried to catch up.
Yeah.
I think Rafael was probably a little faster than he expected.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the youngster, local Rafael, on the heat. He's going to be very happy. Coach will be happy. Fantastic result.
Yeah. A last glimpse behind him
Yeah.
to make sure that he's definitely at the front. And Rafael Sirvent from.
You hear the crowd. I don't know if you can hear the crowd. The crowd's going pretty crazy, obviously.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely lots of local support for the two Spanish kids, Rafael Sirvent and Ivan Frutos. And Christian Andersen is settling for second place. Gonna have a little replay.
See, it looks like the wind's picked up a little if you see the flags. There is some weather moving in tomorrow, unfortunately. So today is beautiful. There are clouds and a bit of rain moving in tomorrow for the distance race, which will keep the athletes cool. Just doesn't make for a good picture, makes it a little harder. But yeah, the wind's supposed to pick up a little as his front moves in. Here's the replay.
Yeah,
You see Christian, oh, he missed the corner. He's gliding and then he just slips. And unfortunately, you make a mistake, it's sort of, you're going to get pounced on.
Yeah, and he had the full race to play catch up behind Rafael Sirvent. Managed to come back on Ivan Frutos and position himself in second position.
Look at the smile when he gets off. Yeah, I mean, good on. I said he's young. Even winning a heat, it feels good. His confidence will be up, so that's fantastic. Obviously, you can tell just by the walk, Christian's, realised he's got to race again. Hopefully, we're going to be on the beach with Holly. No, we're not. Sorry. Round 1, heat 7.
Heat 7 with Dan Miller from Canada. I think it's probably the oldest. I think it's 43-year-old Dan Miller from Canada. Manuel Rojas, also a very, very fast paddler from Spain. He was 4th last week in Paris. Federico Esposito from Italy. And Isaac Hernandez from Spain, another local athlete in yellow with big fluffy hair. Look at that tall guy in the middle. That's Isaac Hernandez.
Was that Manuel last week in Paris with the top contenders? There was Tituan, Bruno
in second.
Manuel and Clement Clomas.
Christian Andersen was 3rd, and Manuel was 4th, and Clement Colmas was 5th.
They were in a group though,
And,
so
I
that was
believe,
Manuel. Very
Ludovic-
impressed. Very
Absolutely.
impressive.
But he actually was on the podium last year in Paris. Manuel Oyola, he was 3rd.
And then, so is he the? I mean, how's
2021.
Dan Miller go on the sprints? Definitely older, from Canada.
Yeah, Dan Miller. I don't know much about him. He's definitely a committed athlete. Used to play American football. I used to live in Hawaii as well. So he's I think he's an all-round waterman. But against young kids like Manuel Oyuela and Isaac Hernandez and so on, I'm not sure he can really measure up in an APP World Tour event. Anyway, we'll see. But Manuel Oyuela from Cantabria, from Swanfes, quite logically leading the race already in white on the Sonova.
He showed some good speed last week in Paris, so I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Oh, he's clear, a long way in front. You can see that shot.
He was in Puerto Rico. He was in the sprints final of the ICF World Championship as well. So he's definitely one of the top Spanish athletes, and he has been for the past 3-4 years now. Also living close to France, crossing often to compete with
very good form. Look at the
French
gap he's
athletes.
put. So is that Federico?
Federico Esposito. Yeah, this is actually the Italian team's coach. Federico
He was in Paris too. I remember seeing him. He walked back from Paris. He walked back to the event site in the freezing cold last week.
All right.
Crazy.
Nice 20-minute stroll.
So yeah, obviously Manuel, a long way in front, looking very, very good technique, very comfortable out there on the Sonova.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's no competition, but he's looking good. He looked around.
Yeah.
He's got this one. He's got this one sewn up for sure.
And Federico Esposito in second place, and a former windsurfer. So he coaches the Italian SUP race team, but he also coaches the Spanish sailing team. So he's a busy man.
Do the Nica brothers train with Federico? Or you don't
I'm not entirely sure of that, but when it comes to international competitions, he's the one who puts together the team and tells them what to do in order to get ready for the big day. And it has worked pretty well so far this year, with the Italian team having some great results in all the different competitions.
Yeah, I mean, all of Europe is really starting to explode with stand-up. There's not many internationals here at this race. There's a lot of Europeans really starting to take the sport to their own, starting to dominate. Used to be obviously a lot of Australians and Americans in the beginning would dominate. Now, it's just not many. They're all Europeans. I mean, apart from Connor and Boothie. The next line is...
We need to do something about that, by the way.
You've got to get the Australians and Americans back on the back in the racing.
So here's Federico Esposito in second place. The Sonova rider Manuel Oyuela across the line in first.
It's Dan Miller, looks like.
Dan Miller from Canada,
Red in third.
Calgary, Canada, in third.
We'll go to the repechage.
Red.
I'm sorry, Dan Miller walked back from the race. He walked back, the crazy Canadian.
He looks a bit like Federico.
He does a little bit, sorry, he does a little bit.
Easy mistake.
So
Isaac Hernandez from the B Water Club here in Alicante in fourth place. And I think we're ready for the replay. Let's see what happened. Manuel Oyuela really focused. Super fast. Super fast on his feet.
And then look at his speed. He took off. Short racing, as you can, very short technical race.
Yeah.
That's the thing with technical races. Sometimes they're long, sometimes they're short. Manuel was very, very, very impressive. I look forward to seeing how he stacks up against, Connor, Shrimpy,
Martin Vitry, the Nica brothers,
so
Arthur Ritkin.
Those quarterfinals will be coming out soon after the repechage, so definitely stay tuned for that. I look forward to seeing how all they go in the next heats. So what is coming up now? We should be on heat and the final
number 8, final heat of run number 1 with Connor Baxter, the man, the legend, Donato Friends from the Netherlands. Watch out for Donato, 16 or maybe now 17 years old. Won everything in the Netherlands in the past 2 years. Linus Carlson from Sweden, who's just changed sponsor, is on starboard now, and Joan Garcia Valero. I'm not saying Juan because it's Joan, so it's a Catalan name and not a Castilian name, from Spain as well. So, Connor Baxter, who is definitely going for the crown, both in the sprints and potentially the overall crown as well. I guess that's my favorite for this one.
He should win easy. Nothing goes wrong. Connor is definitely the man to beat in the sprints. He's definitely focused on sprints. He used to be really good at both, and he's been doing it now. How long?
Oh, look how relaxed he is.
14 years.
Big smile.
He's been doing it for a long time. So he's a machine on the sprints. Tough heat for the next 3.
And he admitted that having 2 kids now gives him this extra boost of energy. This past 12 months.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's got a lot of sponsors. He's a full-time athlete, so with a full-time athlete comes expectations for good results, and he's obviously been delivering for a long time. So I look forward to seeing, I guess, who can hang with Connor. It's a great heat for the people to see where their speed's at,
And he's a good runner as well. Look at him,
big dive.
Whoa! He has to take a second take.
Gee, I missed that.
But he's still at the front. Connor Baxter, and who's on the right hand side? It's Donato Friends from the Netherlands on the blue not JP Light Board Corp, German brand. On the outside, look at him with the white. Donato trying to catch up. Connor Baxter, who's despite this mistake in the spot, it's still comfortably in first position, reaching that first buoy. The image is breaking up. Hopefully, that will be restored very, very soon.
Well,
Who
not a
else
bad
have we
crowd
got? We've
down there
got
for the
Linus
sprints.
Carlsen. Linus Carlsen, who was 14th in the Swede from
But it's Donato in second. Right on Connor too.
Donato France on the light board corp. That's a hollow board, by the way. That's a German company specialized in flat water hollow boards. And
So
Connor
they're both
Baxter
very
now
tall guys,
cruising.
these two.
Yeah, two tall bone
Very
guys.
tall guys. Connor definitely cruising. I think he's confident being Connor, and whether Donato would want to challenge a Connor Baxter. He might just be happy just to sit there. I'm not sure. We'll sort of see. You know, it's like sometimes they don't get challenged.
Well, Donato France is definitely the fearless type of guy.
Oh,
You
good to
know,
see.
he's the type of guy who doesn't want to compete with the juniors and wants to go straight with the in the open division. He did that twice actually at the ICF World Championships in Hungary last year and in Poland against this year. So skipping the junior division to go and battle out with the top guys and doing pretty well.
I mean, yeah, he's
in those
hanging on Connor
competitions.
quite well. Connor definitely cruising on this one. He does look very comfortable. He's probably the most experienced paddler out there today.
How old is Connor now?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, I mean, he's
Probably 10 years older than Donato. Probably
yeah, he
27.
says he's a veteran, even though he's still well under. I mean, he's under 30. I know that. So
Yeah.
I'll find out his age later. But yeah, I mean, he's just absolutely cruising to the beach. Also a very good runner.
He was.
So very
Already-
aggressive paddler.
And on top of his game at the age of 14 or 15, beating
He was.
some top Hawaiian names.
So congratulations, Connor, on that win. It looks like Donato should be second.
Donato France in second place.
There he is.
Let's see who comes in third. That's Joan Garcia Valero. I don't know that athlete very well, so it's
Linus, there's Linus now.
I guess Linus Carlsen, the Swede,
Unfortunately
used to
out.
be on Kona. Kona being a Swedish board brand. It's just switched to Starboard a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And I guess that's the end of the sprint competition, unfortunately, for Linus.
That's for the men. That's the first heat's all done. We'll probably quickly flash to a replay while we're getting in. The women should be getting ready, I believe, for the
Yeah.
next heat. So we'll see if there's a replay coming up first, and we'll see if Molly's on the beach as well. Replay. And Connor, look at this. He slips. Oh, right through a wave.
It's
Oh,
exciting.
nearly.
Wow.
Very agile. They all crashed, looks like.
They
It's only
did.
a
What's
little wave,
surprising
it was
is that I didn't find his cadence super high
No,
in
he
that
wasn't.
first stretch of water.
He was under pressure. He gets good distance per stroke. Connor, you could see the board was going a long way. Obviously, he's very controlled, very seasoned athlete. No, I look forward to seeing how he does sprint up against the next race. Will be a lot harder for him. Quarterfinal.
Yeah.
He did look the most comfortable out there. He's still definitely my tip, my favourite for the sprint race. He needs to win because he needs as many points as he can get for the overall. But
He's already won 2 sprint races in this circuit.
you drop one, correct?
You drop one.
You do drop one. So, here we are.
Oh, we're getting ready for the women already with our actually 2022 APP World Tour champion, April Zild from the USA, from North Carolina. In red, Mélanie Lafenêtre, very, very strong athlete from France. In white, Caterina Stenta from Italy. More of a long distance specialist, I would say. In blue, Yona Rivet, also from France, in yellow. And from Fuerteventura, Spain, Alba Alonso Frey, a new up-and-coming girl who I've just found out was actually third in the Spanish National Championships in the sprints, behind Duna Gordillo and Esperanza Barderas. I can tell you that means a lot about this girl's skills, sprint skills. And she was also 7th in Puerto Rico with Team Spain in the sprints as well. So apparently highly energetic 28-year-old athlete from Fuerteventura who comes from windsurfing, being introduced to the sport, I believe, by Ibaya Moreno. And we'll see if she does well in this first round. Doesn't have much experience in international racing,
True.
but some good results already.
There's 5, so there's 2 heats of 5 women, so a little bit harder when there's 5. The men had only 4. So I will see, I believe the first 2 go through in the women though.
Yeah, no one gets disqualified after this first initial round. Everyone goes through to repechage. So only the first 2 go straight to the semifinals.
Correct. And then they all get a second chance.
So
everyone does get to race again. At the same time, this is sort of great to see where you're at, test the course. Top 2 go through straight to the semi-final. The rest will go to a repechage. We only one repechage, of course.
Yeah. So we've got in that hit number 1, USA, France, Italy, France, and Spain. So a pretty varied field for this first heat of the first round of sprints in the women's.
Who's the favourite for this one?
Well, April Zill's got to be. She won 2 sprint competitions within the APP World Tour. I think her worst result overall within the APP World Tour is actually 4th.
Ooh,
and she is right next to Melanie Affinet. It looks like a replay of the ICF, the Stand-Up Paddle World Championship, actually sprints. These 2 being first and second in Poland.
Iona right behind him.
And Iona in yellow on the NSP. Going for the inside, Iona, look at that. But it's the battle between April Zilg and Melanie Affinet. Ooh, a few missed strokes for April Zilg, which allow Melanie Affinet to take charge of this race, reaching the buoy number 1 in first position, followed by April Zilg in second on the 4-4 board. Caterina Stenta, very experienced girl, been SUP racing for 5-6 years, from Italy, in 3rd place. And there's a bit of a gap with Iona Rive on the NSP and
Gee, Melanie looks
Alba.
great. She's really, I mean, every race they're getting better and better. April doesn't look too worried. I mean, top 2 go through, so she might be. She's very obviously, more experienced. Oh, step over the board there. That's what happens. No point in complaining. Just getting on with it that she has. So I think she's going to be happy with 2nd April. Melanie, very impressive. She's still going very well. Long stroke.
Melanie Affinet went from underdog status to world champion material in the space of 6 months, basically. She showed up at the European Championships in September, end of August, September, and she won the European title in the technical racing.
Wow.
Then she did the same thing at the ICF World Championships, and she has a couple of bronze medals at the ISA World Championships in Puerto Rico. So she is already a very, very strong athlete within Team France. Team France, who was crowned world champion. Where was Australia, by the way, at the last ISA World Championships?
Even I was surprised. Michael Booth was the only Australian that went. Normally Australia sent a good team. I went to the first ISA games in Peru. It was a great event. Yeah, I'm surprised Team Australia didn't put one together.
But Australia won so many World Championships as a team. Now they were like 6th or 7th in the rankings.
Well, Melanie, an easy win. April's
securing a 2nd place, which qualifies her to the semi-finals. And in 3rd place, we've got Caterina Stenta from Italy, who's going through to the repechage, next round of repechage. Then we have Iona Rive from France, and perhaps less experience is Alba Alonso Frey from Fuerteventura, crossing the line in 5th. There she is. And I believe we've got a replay coming up. Here it comes. So, good start by Melanie and April. Very quick into action, but a couple of mistakes by April Zilg made Melanie take the lead in the race, and then it was all about controlling that second place for April Zil.
Yeah, I could tell she wasn't trying. She did the math. She's like, I'm second, I'll get through. Okay, I got to have a better start next time. But again, taking nothing away from Melanie. She's obviously grown every week. She's getting better and better, it looks like.
Absolutely.
Very comfortable there on the 4.25. April for second. The other three girls, it's not game over. They get to go through the repechage and try again to make it into that semi-final.
Yeah. Katerina Stenta in third. Katerina Stenta, who picked another sport on top of sub racing. She's now a hot shot in trail international trail running.
Trail running.
A sport that she discovered during the COVID crisis. Here comes hit number 2 with Juliette Duhaime from Argentina in red, Ji-won Choi from Korea in white, Elene Echeverria from the Basque Country from Spain in blue, Cecilia Pampinella, the new junior phenomenon from Italy in yellow, Alexia Soto from Spain, and Teresa Criado wearing grey from Spain as well. So this is a six women heat.
3, 2 go through, 3 make the repechage. Whoever gets 6 will miss out, it looks like.
You can see Anthony Vella giving last directions before the start of the race.
A little more on the line for this one.
You can see some NSP boards, some starboards, and an Infinity. And I guess that's Juliette Duhaime, who's on the left-hand side.
Is she your favourite?
Facing that first buoy. I guess Cecilia Pampinella is probably the favourite in this race.
Clean start by them all.
That's her in the middle with a yellow lycra from Italy. The junior phenomenon who won everything this year in the junior division, whether it's the European Championships or the 2 World Championships under 2 different federations, the surf federations and the canoe federations.
Who was that?
And she's leading Cecilia Pampinella in yellow on the Mistral board there.
Good to see Mistral. No, NSP. She's on the NSP.
She's on the NSP. Oh, that's new. That's new. Is that because her board didn't make it through, or is it because she changed sponsor? I'm not sure. That's definitely a story to dig this weekend. That's quite unusual to see Cecilia Pampinella on another board than Mistral. In the chase, we have a starboard and an NSP, and I believe that's Elene, unless it is Ji-won Choi from Korea on the inside. I'm not sure, because Elene as well is on starboard. So I think that's Ji-won Choi from Korea in second place. In third, in pink, that's Alexia Soto Sanchez from the Paris Water Sport Club from Alicante.
Well, Cecilia has put on a clinic in this heat.
Where is Juliette though? That's a bit of an upsetting result so far.
She's still there. As long as she's not last, she'll get a repechage.
Yeah, okay.
So, there's a fall from the pink. Alexia.
Oh, Juliette might
well, they're talking. She's lost
make
the paddle.
take advantage of that. Is she in second place? Did Juliette move to second? Bit of a chaos going on now. Elene Echeverria passing through. Who got stuck on the NSP?
Lost the paddle, looks like.
That's Alexia.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, Alexia Soto Sanchez, one of the favorites actually.
Oh really? She's gonna finish 6th. Unfortunately, she doesn't get a repechage. Some other person fell on the buoy. So 6 people in the race. Unfortunately, that's bound to happen. Again, that is racing.
Yeah.
Boy turns a huggy. That's she's just exhausted.
Good lord, that's
very
what
happens.
Unlucky for Alexia.
But
at the front on the NSP, that's Cecilia Pampinella. I just want to make sure. We've got the yellow lycra. Yes, we do. That's Cecilia Pampinella from Italy, who's winning a race once again in 2022. That's her first hit in run number 1.
Be careful there. They're all jumping off the board a little too early in the deep water. Again, it's only a heat, but to go a little bit further at the beach, you can just hit the shallower water running. That was a little better if the people in the water aren't putting them off.
Yeah.
So very good clinic by Cecilia. Very unfortunate for Alexia.
Yeah, but that
Still
chaos
more.
also at buoy number 3 meant that Juliette Duhaime went from 5th to 2nd.
Yes.
So a good result for Juliette,
Eleni
who's
5th.
currently sitting 2nd in the overall rankings of the APP World Tour.
And 2nd in the heat.
So the most consistent athletes of this tour.
That's it for the women's heats. We said we have a repechage now. We have a replay first.
So the replay. So look at Cecilia Pampinella. Oh, that was a great start by G1 Choi from Korea, but Cecilia Pampinella took over pretty quickly and managed to get her first position at the first buoy and didn't let go of that first position until the very end, actually extending her gap thanks to a bit of
These were the crash game, I believe.
bit of a crash behind.
Ooh, very unlucky to drop a paddle.
So Alexia Soto loses her paddle. Juliette Duhaime passes her at that very moment, takes 2nd place.
And the white, Choi.
G1 Choi takes
Third
she
overall.
takes 3rd.
Yep. She jumped off a little late there, a little early there. But still, easy one. Very good. Melanie and Cecilia are going to have a very interesting, I presume they'll be in different semi-finals. But I look forward to seeing them in the final, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. Well, what a great race. We are, moving on to the repechage rounds for the men's.
Yes,
Yes,
here
we
it
are.
is.
Hit number 1 of the repechage round. We've got Itzel Elgado from Peru, Bruno Julio from Hungary, Will Kitley from England, and Fernando Brotons, who looked super fast, by the way, earlier from Spain.
That's a tough repechage.
It is. It is.
That's not an easy repechage. I mean, 4 big names, to be honest. They are good paddlers because the second person for the heat and the men had to go to repechage. So only the winner went through. So a lot of big names are in that. So there is a heat 1 on the line for repechage 1. We have 4 repechage for the men.
Yeah.
So-
4 repechage rounds. Wow. So how does that work then? 2 advance, and I guess 2 get eliminated.
2 will advance from these repechages. It's a lot easier.
Final.
However, you have to paddle again. So repechage, you're doing that sprint again. Sometimes it's good. You get to do the course again, get to really feel yourself. However, you're draining your battery. Really, you got to go again while Connor's sitting on the beach, sort of watching. So, but yes, two from each repechage will go into the quarter-final for the men.
Yeah, and we've got Itzel Elgado in this first repechage heat. Itzel Elgado, who's currently leading the overall ranking of the APP World Tour. He managed to overtake Connor Baxter, who was first until the Paris event. Itzel, who finished 8th in the long distance in Paris. So not a great performance, but much better than Connor Baxter's. Much better than the Connor Baxter's 15th position. So that allowed him to go in front.
Itzel, obviously he's not the fastest guy out there, but he's definitely the most consistent this year. I mean, that's kind of what all racing is. He's done well at both the distance and the sprints to give himself the overall lead. I don't think he did. He won a race, the first race of this.
He won the first race, that long distance downwinder, where he finished first, actually racing with Bodie van Olmen, 16-year-old Bodie van Olmen, who finished 2nd. Basically managed to choose the right course that day.
The first race of the season, and that's again, that's what sort of racing is. You're out in the ocean, things can happen. In this race, the only thing that can happen here, no one's going to get lost in this race. It's just going to be the buoys.
All right, so we've got Holly on the beach with Cecilia Pampinella.
I am here with the winners of both the women's round 1 heats, Melanie Lafayette from France and Cecilia Pampinella from Italy. Melanie, you just beat our champion. How was that heat?
I'm so happy. The race is not too easy because we have a lot of turn, but it's cool for the confiance to finish first, and we will see another hit next hit.
Thank you. And Cecilia, first APP event, and you've just won your first heat. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here today and compete with the best riders in the world. And I really like this kind of race because there is a lot of technique, the boy turn, also sprint, and I'm very happy to be in the semi-final.
Well, we'll see both of these races in the semi-final. Congratulations, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Melanie. Yeah, looking very happy and confident, as Melanie was saying.
They're both very impressive. I was both happy. We're gonna probably show the last heat replay again. Someone might be calling in interference, which means it might change the results. So it's kind of racing. Ball went through her legs, and she didn't step over. Lost a paddle, and it's unexpected. You don't expect the board to go between your legs, so I sort of caught her off guard.
Yeah, the only thing I can see maybe is Alexia Soto there.
Right there.
Oh no, it's that board between the legs. So Juliette Duhame's infinity board going between Alexia Soto's legs and causing her to lose her balance.
Yeah, that's kind of the racing. It's hard to call it interference. It definitely was an interference. I've seen it happen in the guys a lot. Sometimes they catch you off guard. Sometimes you just step over the board or you push it out of the way with your foot. Requires a lot of balance, requires a lot of practice too, sort of doing that. So, breaking news, there is a minute penalty on that interference, which means they will...
They suffer a 1 minute penalty. Actually, two athletes get penalized, and that's Katerina Stenta in heat number 1, a 1 minute penalty, and Juliette Duhame gets a 1 minute penalty,
which means she'll miss out on the repechage.
She's not
put her in last place.
Wow! That's a breaking. That's a upsetting news actually, because she's currently sitting in second position in the overall ranking.
She's missed out on the sprints, it looks like.
So she will score 0 on the sprints. Is that what you're saying, Travis?
It's what it looks like. I mean, she was the one who did the interference. Definitely was an accident. However, the other girl fell in, lost a paddle, and then didn't qualify. So there was not a protest, but a discussion. The race director, Anthony Vella, reviewed it, and we just came in on my other ear and said yes, there will be a 1 minute penalty. No disqualification, just a 1 minute penalty. However, 1 minute's quite a long time in a sprint race like this. That's the race director's call, and that's what it is. So very unfortunate for, like you said, second place overall.
Yeah, second place overall. So I'm sorry if I'm double checking Travis, but is she? I had the feeling that all the athletes were actually going through to
no, so yeah, just the top 5. So this was six
just the
in
top
that
5.
heat.
This was the
the sixth person.
Oh, that happened at the worst, the worst possible race.
It's very unfortunate. It's unlucky sometimes, and they say that's just racing. Obviously, you learn from your mistakes.
Okay, to be honest, I didn't see it during the race. We had to use the slow motion for me to actually spot it. I thought it was actually Alexia falling which caused the trouble. No, it was the other way around.
It was the board through the legs, caught her off guard. Always some drama here in the beach race. We've got plenty more dramas to come. We have a lot more rounds to go. We have obviously 4 for the women in the final, and then for the men we have repechage 4, quarterfinals 4, semi 2, final 1. So still a lot of racing left. It's short, it's sweet. So they can do more. I haven't actually timed the race yet. We should see how long they're taking the men.
Well, if Juliette doesn't show up this afternoon in the sprint competition, which she still has tomorrow to score some points in the long distance. She was 4th in Paris last weekend, so that was a pretty good result. Which, as we were saying, that Infinity Speed Freak rider has been super consistent this year. She did the whole tour. She was part of the first 4 events of the APP World Tour 2022, and she's here with us.
So I do have if you're curious, the Heat 2. Yes, Juliette finished 6th after the time adjustment. And so that means Juliet will not go on to the repechage for the women. She's the only one, unfortunately, that misses out.
Wow.
The first heat, there was also a discrepancy, but again, there was only 5 in that heat. So the 3 ladies who...
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened though. Katerina Stenta, maybe at that fourth buoy, perhaps.
Anyway, so unfortunate for all Juliet fans out there for that and for her overall. So we're up to the men repechage. 4 repechages, 2 make it through.
Yeah.
Very, very stacked field. This one, Itzel, Bruno, Will, and Fernando. We're waiting for them to pop up on the screen. I think we actually already did that. We're just waiting for the race. Yeah. And obviously for the women's,
look at Itzel, the Peruvian prince, maybe king after this weekend's event. And Itzel Delgado from Peru. He had a great year this year. He started the APP World Tour with a win in the long distance. He was also in Busan, second overall. He was second in the sprints and third in the long distance in Busan. He was 8th in Paris last week. So he's currently number 1 in the overall standings. There's a big battle going on between him and Connor Baxter for potentially the overall crown.
This is probably the toughest repechage there is for today.
Well, we've got Will Kitley, we've got Bruno Sulio, Fernando Brotons Moreno, and
good
great
start.
Fernando, great glide there.
They've already pushed a little down from the buoy. They're going to have to angle back to the right a little bit. Fernando's in front, Itzel in second.
Ooh, now Infinity Rider, Itzel Delgado pushing hard and definitely pushing hard enough to be now in first place, virtually anyway, as they are reaching buoy number 1. Itzel's got the inside, so yes, there is definitely that 1 meter advantage for the Peruvian prince, Itzel Delgado, followed by Fernando Brotons Moreno from Spain. In third, we've got Bruno Sulio, currently out of the sprint competition. If he doesn't do something very quick to try and get in the first top 2 of this race.
See how Fernando goes. I remember the last race, he started crazy fast and then he started to fade.
Oh, Bruno Sulio takes a dive. Ouch.
Bruno's out of the sprint.
Will Kitley on the infinity board, going wide to try and overtake.
Very surprised on Bruno. I kind of expected very fast him to at least make the semi-finals. Bruno's out. Quarterfinal, didn't make it through repechage. That's racing again. Little stumble.
Another upsetting result.
As you can see, Fernando's
pretty early in the
Fernando's a little tired. He's a great start, but he starts to fade towards the end. What do? You got to get to that buoy first and aggressive, and then so he's used a little bit too much energy. However, it worked. He's safe. He's made it into the quarterfinals. Yeah. Where he has to go do it all again. Itzel comfortably home.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing from Itzel. He knows controlling the race. He knows exactly what's happening behind him. So he's on the Infinity Blackfish 14 by 23. A great all-round board that he loves actually. And
a couple of bumps coming in there, as you can see. The couple of ripples.
Yeah, towards the finish line. 50 meters left for the rider from Infinity. Giving a last big push.
Well, not what Connor wanted to see.
Exactly.
It's all right. Still, there's quarterfinals coming up.
That's definitely a confidence booster for Itzel Delgado. Looking strong.
Got off a little early.
Looking strong and happy.
A little deep there. We've seen the starts too. We thought it was a very even run out. Maybe with a lot of the people going in and out, it's a little. Wow. That's a little. It goes deep, shallow, then deep again.
Yeah.
So we've seen a few people stumble with the start and the finishes.
Yeah, a little tricky.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on. It might actually mess some people up.
So in second place, Fernando Brotons Moreno. Yes. That's definitely a result we didn't expect. Good job, Fernando. We need to find out who this kid from, I guess from Alicante, is.
Right, Bruno's not happy.
Oh, are we gonna have another interference call? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but
no. Let's go replay.
Maybe that hollow board against the wind, just as he was turning.
So Fernando, great start. Itzel caught him up pretty quickly. Those two that you said broke away.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing you can do there.
Lost his balance on his own. So Bruno Sulio out of the sprint competition for the rest of the day. But Itzel Algado just looking super strong and basically at the level of his status right now in the APP World Tour. Number 1 in the rankings, and Fernando Brotons,
He's pumped.
underdog,
Very,
placing
very
second. Great start.
He
He impressed us already in his first race, in the first 50 meters of the race.
He did.
And we're going to now hit number 2 of the repechage round with Blue Ewer from England in red, Sergio Cantoral from Spain in white, Asger Schmidt from Copenhagen, Denmark in blue, and Unax Echeverria, probably the youngest of all these APP World Tour athletes. Unax, the younger brother of Elene Echeverria, both from San Sebastian in the Basque Country. That's the kid in yellow right there. We've got Blue Ewer in red on the JP Australia, undefeated in UK, a national champion, and a very strong sprint racer.
Blue had a good race, round 1, got second, so that's to do repechage. So, I tip him to have a good race here and should make it through.
Yeah, and then Asger Schmidt, that's the tall blonde guy from Denmark. But look at Blue. Ooh, great start by Blue Ewer. Ooh, going maybe a bit too much on the inside. He's got to correct his course, aiming towards that first buoy.
Sergio is really going for it too. On the white wall.
Yes, Sergio Cantoral, the junior world champion in technical racing under the ICF Federation. In second place right now with Blue Ewer in red. In first, so the first 2 qualify for the quarterfinals. Unfortunately for the third and fourth place
on the NSP, and there's a battle for 3rd and 4th. At the moment, they're both going to miss out, so they've got to try and catch Sergio. Look at Blue. Yeah. Extending the lead. I mean, you turn that buoy, you hit the wind behind your back, and so you will extend. And on this one, you basically turn around, you're going to hit a slight headwind. He's looking pretty confident.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great surfer. He's an all-round waterman, actually. Blue. He's a surfer. He's a foiler, and yeah, he's very, very good with balance. As you can see, obviously, very energetic, and got a high cadence when it comes to sprinting.
Yeah, looks very comfortable. A very good heat. Like I said, very impressive. The man, they're sort of making them work a little harder with his second repechage.
Yeah. What's been missing for Blue is really the international exposure, the international experience. So this year's, I think specifically, was for him a good way to get to get more to battle out with bigger names.
Well, the good thing about this course too is it is flat, so it doesn't disadvantage anyone. There's no in the really big bumps or waves. People who might live in the UK who don't have access to the same conditions they race in have a disadvantage. This is a flat race, so people from all around the world can do a race here in Alicante because the conditions aren't a factor. It kind of comes down to whoever the fastest, fittest, and train the most for this race. The skill level is taken out for the conditions.
Well, pretty good statement there by the Englishman.
Yeah,
and
well done.
One last glance behind him to make sure that he is still at the front. An easy one for Chariot of Fire style Blue Ewer from close to Kingsbridge in
oh really?
In the south. I think they travelled together with Will Kitley, who was in the previous heat. Here comes Unax Echeverria in 4th place.
Unfortunately, he'll
3rd place.
Be watching from now on.
Yeah.
But well done, congratulations.
So Sergio Cantoral in 2nd, Asger Schmidt from Denmark in 3rd, and Unax Echeverria from Spain.
We'll go to the replay of repechage 2 to see that again. See Blue's dominant display.
So look at
Blue and the red on the left. Look at the Asger on the right. Nearly falls in. He doesn't. After this first turn, it was all Blue, and Sergio held on to 2nd place quite easily. Again, it's incredible how they get such big gaps in such a short race.
Over a 300-meter course.
Again, when you're turning, you're at 0, and the other guy's still paddling away. So the guy who turns first normally will double his lead instantly.
Yeah.
The guys will know that, of course. Yeah, look at him. He's definitely a sprinter.
Absolutely. I have to say I haven't seen two radical turns so far, apart from Shrimpy maybe, who did a couple of super vertical turns. But yeah, I think the game is going to be better as we're progressing into the competition. We've got Tommaso Pampinella, Christian Andersen, Riccardo Rossi and Ivan Frutos getting ready for heat number 3. We've got 2 Italians, 1 Dane and 1 Spaniard in this heat number 3 coming up. Christian Andersen
in the white.
He's getting better and better, having some great results this year. Was 3rd in Paris last weekend behind Titouan Pouillot and Bruno Sulio. Anthony Vella's not racing, don't worry. He's only the race director. Ivan Frutos in yellow. Tommaso Pampinella, that's the tall guy on the JP Australia board. And we've got Riccardo Rossi. So a pretty even heat, I think, coming up. And Christian Andersen doesn't do the same mistake he did in his previous race. And I think is currently sitting in 1st position.
With Tommaso, with it Tomas?
Yeah, Tommaso Pampinella in second place and maybe trying to close in from the outside. Riccardo Rossi now 2nd position for Riccardo Rossi on the Infinity.
Yeah.
Also a very good technicians, but Christian Andersen
big gap.
Is going for it. Oh, there's a bit of hesitation there from Tommaso Pampinella as his countryman Riccardo Rossi comes from the outside, and Ivan Frutos, 17-year-old Ivan Frutos, currently in 4th in yellow in the yellow jersey.
Look at the conditions. The wind's died down a lot.
It has, and look at that ripple. Look at that nice little ripple. That's definitely surfable.
It's there, yeah. It's from the way in. We'll see on the way back. Oh, someone splashed in.
That's Tommaso Pampinella who took a dive, and Riccardo Rossi now comfortably in 2nd position. He's got a 10-meter lead over another Italian athlete, Tommaso Pampinella, but at the front, Christian Andersen from Denmark, aka Paul Albert, basically the soul brother of Kasper Stenfath, introduced to the sport by Danish Viking and 6-time world champion Kasper Stenfath.
The sprint king himself, Kasper. So we know, well, that's a good term. We know Christian's good at it. So they just got unlucky in the 1st heat. Very dominant display here.
Yeah.
In repechage number 3, who will definitely go into the quarterfinals. Where hopefully he'll have like I said, another good race. He had the bad race out of the way. In 2nd who is 2nd? Rossi.
Riccardo Rossi on the Infinity board. So it's Fanatic and Infinity right now in 1st and 2nd position in this race. A Dane and an Italian, and Christian Andersen just making sure that he's comfortably at the front. A few last strokes.
They're both going through into the quarterfinals, which is, they haven't got long to rest. We've got the girls repechage, and then we're baiting the men quarterfinals. So again, everyone in this repechage had a 2nd race. They get to do the course again, but again, they're using their battery. They're a little more exhausted. By the time they get to the final, they're going to have a little less spring in their step. But as you can see, still a beautiful day down there on the beach. Alicante had all the junior races beforehand.
Oh, Ivan Frutos in 3rd position. Well, he's out of the sprint competition, but he's definitely one to watch for the future. This 16 or 17-year-old guy from Spain, and Tommaso Pampinella finishing in 4th, took a dive, little stroll under the APP World Tour arch on the Playa de El Postiguet in the heart of Alicante. Alicante, one of the best places to live in according to the WHO, actually one of the healthiest places to be in the world.
Beautiful place. They all ran a little deeper this time. Christian didn't have the best start, but he made up for it quickly with his sprinting skills once on the board. And then, yeah, it was nothing could go wrong with Christian at the end. A lot of pressure, but not really. He wasn't under threat by anyone, so just a routine run to get through the repechage. Again, the 1st repechage was the hardest for sure.
I really like the look of determination on Christian's face at the end. That for me, that says a lot. I think Christian Andersen is one of the nice guys, you know. I think he lacks a bit of aggressivity, and and hopefully he'll get that aggressivity as his career unfolds.
He's a very aggressive racer. He's nice. He came from Denmark, so he's obviously means he's serious, means business. So, okay, last one.
Ooh, hit number 4, Donato Friends from the Netherlands. 17-year-old Donato. We've got a lot to prove today. Federico Esposito from Italy. We've got Joan Garcia Valero from Spain and Dan Miller from Canada. And off they are. Ooh! Who's on the LSP who took a dive? That was Federico Esposito. But in the middle in blue, who are the best? That's Joan Garcia Valero. Donato Friends looking pretty good too. Might be able to catch up. Ooh, loses balance a bit for missing a couple of strokes in the process.
See the girls getting ready. Who's that in blue? Joanne.
So it's Joan, and Donato Friends might be able to position himself in first position right here at the buoy, but no, Joan Garcia Valero fights back on the starboard and is still in first position despite the young Dutchman's attack at the first buoy. Ooh, Donato, who seems to be struggling with his balance, maybe caught in the backwash of the Joan Garcia's board.
Yes, a little fatigued. Yeah, the wind's dropped off a little, so for these two guys to lose, they just got to get first, second, make it through. Dan Miller will catch up, I don't think so from here.
Dan Miller in yellow, but Federico Esposito is going to pay dearly his mistake at the start, missing basically his start and falling
Federico
straight away.
Are going to, third and fourth are going to miss out on the quarterfinals. Donato and Federico. Looks like going through to the quarterfinals. Good for them.
Well, that's another athlete I don't know much of, Joan Garcia Valero. First position for the blue lycra boy from Spain, followed by Donato Friends from the Netherlands, 17-year-old Donato Friends, who for the first time in this year won the everything in the Netherlands, in his home country. And that's definitely something that meant a lot to him. Fighting against the likes of Ricardo Haverschmidt, for instance. There might be a bit of a battle.
They don't need to do this.
They don't. That's.
But it's kind of good to see that the bump did come into play. They were on the same, very small, but there is a bump. Yeah. They're both spending a lot of energy they don't need to spend here.
And you can hear the local crowd cheering for the local boy.
Johan jumped off a little early there.
Donato Friends, a former rugby player, a very good runner, manages to overtake Joan Garcia Valero in the beach run, aiming to the arch. So Donato Friends wins this repechage run, and a bit of a battle between Federico and Esposito and Dan Miller, who are a bit of lookalikes. One from Italy and the other one from Canada. Unfortunately, not making it through to the quarterfinals.
Unfortunately, no.
And I think that was the last repechage.
That was his replay.
Here's the replay. So Federico was feeling hot, I guess, and decided to have a little bath. Look at Joan Garcia Valero making sure that he stays at the front. So counter-attacking all the time, because you've got a very aggressive Donato Friends just behind him, and Donato.
Sprint finish.
Great sprint finish by Donato, who didn't really need to do that, so burning quite a bit of energy right there.
Yeah, so again, when you're racing, you're in the moment, you're all athletes, you want to win.
Yeah.
You should be happy he's through. Sprint finish for third, fourth from Dan Miller and Federico. Didn't really matter as well, again, just in the moment racing.
Of course.
Those two will be watching the rest of the sprints, which are coming up. Next will be the women.
Yeah, so we've got the repechage round for the women's, 2 of them coming up before we move on to the quarterfinals for the men's and the semifinals for the women's.
We are going to cross to Holly soon for the interview with the winner of the repechage. Over to you, Holly.
I'm here beachside with Itzel Delgado. He lost his first heat to Leonika, but just stormed through the repechages. Itzel, how's the day been so far?
Well, I had a little bump in the beginning of the day, but really good to come in first place in that second round, and really looking forward to my quarterfinals and making it to the semis and all the way to the final. So really stoked to be here. It's a very nice day here. We got a little bit of cold weather, but the sun comes out every now and then. So yeah, stoked to be here. Conditions are looking nice, so let's go for it.
Good luck in the next round, Itzel, and back to you guys in the studio.
Smiley for everyone here on the beach of El Postiguet. And we've got heat number 1 coming up for the repechage round of the women's. So we've got Yona Rivet from France, from Brittany actually. Elene Echeverria in white. She's from the Basque country, from San Sebastian. And we've got the Italian Caterina Stenta, who is going to be wearing blue. And what are the
so two
conditions?
make it through.
Two make
this
it
one,
through.
only one misses out, and then the next one, Juliet does get to do the repechage.
All right.
So she hasn't missed out. She has a chance to redeem herself, which is only fair. So
And, yeah,
2
let's-
from this heat, so only 1 misses out. So it is all on the line for who's that unlucky girl gonna be to miss out on?
Well,
the,
I have a feeling the most experienced is Caterina Stenta. Elene Echeverria, she is the youngest, maybe the fastest or the more energetic at this stage. But let's not forget that Caterina Stenta had 1 minute penalty in the last
She
race.
did. That's over now.
Oh, and that's a shaky start for Caterina Stenta. Elene Echeverria is the fastest to stand up, and she's currently in first position. Yona Rive with a bit of a surf stance there for Yona Rive on the NSP on the inside. Maybe now getting some speed, and
very even,
that's
aren't they?
definitely an even race towards that first buoy. The race within the race, and Caterina Stenta coming from the outside in blue from Italy, reaching that first buoy in first position on the starboard. So Caterina Stenta first.
No.
Yona Rive might get stuck
It's all right.
next to that
Background
APP
clean.
buoy.
Very even. They all haven't changed sides yet. The beach is that far away. The buoy is just the perfect distance. They'll stay on one side the whole way out. And then now they're actually still on the same side. Obviously, if you're on your right, you get stuck on the right again. Very fatiguing. These 3 girls are very even.
They are very close to each other. Right now, Elena Echeverria is virtually out of the competition, sitting in third position. So Caterina Stenta is going to try hard not to make any mistakes. She also knows that she had a penalty before, so she doesn't want to make that same mistake again, because 1 penalty means 1 minute extra time added to your race time, and that's obviously bad news when that happens to you. So Caterina Stenta on the starboard, reaching buoy number 3, still in first position, followed by the French SUP racer Yona Rive, who's had a fairly good year. Yona in domestic races. She was always on the podiums. We have the 2 French national championships, one ocean-centered and one flat-water-centered. And she was on the podiums every time for the sprints, for the technical racing, and for the long distance. So Yona Rive is also a very strong French athlete, trained by Vincent Guillaume.
Yes, by Vincent Guillaume, very popular French coach. Has a lot of athletes here. Yona's coach, Vincent. Looks like she's going to qualify for the semi-final for the women.
Yeah, as long as she stays focused. It's.
So Elene's going to miss out.
Yeah, I think so.
Unfortunately.
With only 50 meters to go, I don't see what she can do really to fight back against the very experienced Caterina Stenta in first position on the starboard. You can see the wind coming from the right hand side there.
The wind's back. Iona second, and unfortunately Eleni will be watching the rest of this race from the beach in third. So first 2 go through quite comfortably in the end. They were very even. It was very unlucky for Eleni, to be honest. But well done to the girls. They have not that long to get their breath back.
Yeah,
the races are getting shorter and shorter and shorter, less and less heats. So we'll probably cross to a quick replay on that to see how even they were at the start.
There's Dan
Well done,
Miller.
good sportsmanship. I
Federico
like to see that.
Esposito. Yeah.
You see how hard they all tried.
All right, so that's Ion Arrive in red, but in the middle, Elena Echeverria from the Basque Country from Spain was first for a while before Caterina Stenta decided to take the race to her own.
It was kind of one on that first buoy, to be honest. Once they had their order at the first buoy, that's how it stayed. So it's very hard to pass someone once you're on the course. You're the start and the finish. The only places where you're abreast, you can spread out and aim for. Other than that, you're sort of on the track. So that just shows how important a start is when you're evenly matched with someone. You get to the buoy first, you're evenly matched, you should be able to hold them off and make no mistakes.
Yeah.
Well done to those three girls, the two going through, Iona and Katerina.
And coming up, hit number 2 of the repechage round with Teresa Criado from Spain, Alba Alonso Frey from Fuerteventura, Spain as well, Alexia Soto, another Spanish athlete, and from Argentina, Juliette Duhaime. She was not supposed to be here, so I guess
they've. I think it's only fair. She gets a repechage.
Let her in for the repechage round. So
same thing though. Only 2 make it through.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely the Infinity Speed Freak Juliette Duhaime has got another chance at scoring points in this sprint competition, despite the 1-minute penalty previously.
So 2 go through, 2 miss out. Let's see they can get to the buoy first, and we'll see if those 2 will stay in the front the rest of the way around.
Oh, look at the
intensity there.
Look of determination from all these racers.
Teresa in the red.
Who's wearing red? That's Teresa Criado. That's one face I don't know much. So now that I've spotted her face, I'll.
Well, a little shallow in the beginning. They both touched her.
Oh, Juliette Duhaime currently in the lead on the right-hand side, but in the middle in white. That's Alba Alonso Frey. Very much in the lead actually. And Juliette Duhaime trying to catch up now with Alba. So Alba Alonso Frey is, as I was saying earlier, is not someone we've seen a lot on the international level, but she's been having some great results in the second half of the 2022 season, with 3rd place in the Spanish National Championships and the 7th place in Puerto Rico in the sprints.
Clean turn this time, yes. So Alba. I mean, these 2 is for their race to lose now. Juliette looks like she will qualify now.
Yeah, well handled.
Second. Unfortunately, there's a big gap between 3rd and 4th.
So I believe we've got Teresa Criado, or is it...
and Alexia.
Or is it Alexia?
Both 3rd and 4th. Got a lot of work to do to catch up. I don't see them catching up. They both got unlucky at the start. Actually, we're watching the replay.
Frontside turn by Alba and Juliette Duhaime. On the inside, maybe no, she's still in 2nd place. I thought for a little while that she was going to be able to put herself in 1st position, but Alba is resisting the Argentinians' attack, still in 1st. And
2 more turns to go.
I actually met Alba at breakfast this morning, and she was telling me this was fairly new to her, and the results are there already. The girl being brought to the sport by Ibaya Moreno, also a subsurfer, also a windsurfer, and definitely a sprinter according to her recent results, in white on the starboard. And she was saying that her board was a bit wide for her. She's on a 14 by 23 all-star.
Is this Alba?
Yeah, that's Alba.
It's funny, 23 inches many years ago wide was not considered wide. And now we're all on 21s, 20-inch boards, so 23 is considered wide board. It's still very fast though. We want stability in these races. If you can have a stable board and turn well, it could be, you look at the plus side of things. So she had a very good race. She's definitely an athlete, you can tell.
Definitely good technique.
Very good technique for a new paddler. Juliette, luckily she's through, so for her title chances for 2nd place.
That's very lucky for Juliette, the Argentinian.
A lot stronger.
Going through to the semi-finals. Well done, Alba. Wow, that's you can see the experience being growing already for this paddler from Fuerteventura.
Unfortunately,
Alexia Soto, yeah,
is
a bit unlucky in this sprint competition.
but very good paddle, good race. They
Yeah.
got unlucky in the start. You'll see in the replay the two local NSP girls. They both put the board down too early. They didn't run deep enough in,
And
right in the
that's-
shallow, and a thin hit, and they lost their momentum. They lost their glide, and they were chasing ever since. And like I said, you don't get that first buoy first. It's very hard to get past someone.
And that's Teresa Criado crossing the line in 4th position. I can see Martin Vitry there.
Okay,
Getting ready
replay.
for
Here you
his
go. Watch the two. See, they hit early, and they both nearly stopped. So that was sort of the end of their race, unfortunately.
Exactly.
That
That's odd actually, because they are the local local girls. They should know.
First two to hit the bottom, actually, believe it or not.
Yeah.
They obviously maybe they saw they wanted to try and put down and push off early, but tide could be. I'm not sure what the tide's doing. We didn't see that. That sandbag is a little tricky. It goes deep, shallow, deep. So, but yeah, well, good finish.
But Alba
Very
showed
impressive.
some strength in this race, qualifying for the semi-finals, as well as Juliette Duhaime from Argentina, who's currently in 2nd place in the overall APP World Tour rankings. So we're very happy to see her still in the game. And I guess we're moving on to
The men's quarterfinal.
men's quarterfinals,
Which means
Ooh.
4. Of course, just like the soccer World Cup right now, we're into the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
We have the same thing here, quarterfinals. Of the quarterfinals, 1st and 2nd go through. The rest
And,
on
are
the beach
eliminated.
watching.
Absolutely.
So this first heat is coming up. I see them on the beach. First quarterfinal, I should say. It's not a heat. 2 go through, 2 miss out. We're getting the business end. It's 3 o'clock here, local time. So we have probably maybe less than an hour left of racing.
Oh,
Not even.
really?
Yeah, we have just the semis. We have semi-final after the quarterfinals. We have the semis and then the finals for the women and the men.
Yeah.
Women will obviously be next.
It's going to be very, very
4
fast.
races we'll go through quickly. And obviously we have to because at 4 o'clock the first World Cup game on. Portugal Morocco is at 4
You sound
o'clock
keen.
local
You sound
time.
keen.
And then
I
England,
am
France.
keen.
And then
We've
England.
got a France versus England game coming
After
up
that.
at 8 p.m. tonight.
So I know a lot of the paddlers down here want to get away and watch that themselves. So I'm sure they're going to extra fast.
You know what?
on the
Anthony
water.
Vella is also very keen. He is the race director, so I'm sure he's going to speed this up. So make sure you don't go away because it's all going to unfold in the next hour for day 1 of the Alicante SUP Open, the 5th and last stop of the APP World Tour. What a great tour it has been so far. Since Santa Monica in June, since Los Angeles. Went through all kinds of different places around the world with France, with Korea, with the UK.
I mean, they go to beautiful places. I mean, they go to London. Again, when I say beautiful, like how many times you get to race in London around the River Thames? How many times you get to race in Paris down the sites? Like, you don't get to do those kind of things. So the APP is bringing these locations which you would never thought paddling would be at to the athletes and to everyone. So I like that. That's why I like the APP tour. And then we come to beautiful places like Alicante. Next year they're trying to go to Jeddah for a downwind race.
Yeah.
So
there's always something unique and
versatile. They're not all the same races. You have to be good at everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Great locations and a great way to travel as well and see lots of different places. We didn't have an APP World Tour since the very successful 2019 APP World Tour because of the COVID crisis. Obviously, the 2020 and 2021 tours were cancelled, so we had a pretty good circuit this year in 2022, considering, and we still have a day and a half to go for in this competition, with a lot of action here in Alicante. Alicante is a new destination as well. Watch out!
Next?
There's hit number 1 of the quarterfinals coming up.
Ooh.
We'll talk about Alicante later. We've got Leo Nica from Italy, Martin Vitry from France, Itzel Elgado from Peru, and Sergio Cantoral from Spain. This is
tough quarterfinal.
going to be a tough one with 2 winners of the first 2 heats and the winners of the following repechage rounds, or 1 and 2 of the following repechage rounds.
So 2 go through. So still, I mean, there's Leo, Martin, and Itzel.
That's going to be a very, very close one.
Someone's going to be very upset, and let's see what Sergio can do. I mean, he's a good starter, as we saw. Whew. Not sure whoever gets to the buoy first should win this. And they all know that. Easier said than done. You know, I kind of want to see Itzel go into the quarterfinals. In the semi-finals to see. I think it's like a big means more important for tomorrow's distance race against him and Connor. Good to see Martin back. Leo, I mean, he's dangerous.
Yeah. all these guys are actually known for running super fast in short distances.
Yeah.
But at different times in their career. Actually, Leonika was a few years ago really one of the fastest guys. Probably a bit less now. Martin Vitry is really known for his technical side. That's for sure. Itzel Delgado is the one that I always call at the first buoy in most races, because he showed consistently that he was always a very, very fast starter. And Sergio Cantoral is only 16 and he's already a junior world champion under the ICF Federation. So yeah, that's definitely going to be it's really, really tough to call this one for the first buoy anyway.
Yeah.
To know who's going to be
the first buoy and the most important buoy.
It is. So 5 buoys in this 300-meter course, 3 left-hand turns and 2 right-hand turns. We've got Italy, France, Peru, and Spain in these first quarterfinals of the year. Come on, let's see it. Great start by Martin Vitry. Martin Vitry from France in white in the lead right now. Leonika might have the inside advantage on the right hand side. We've got Itzel Delgado on the Infinity.
Leo in the red on the inside.
And Leo
see the speed difference? This is a lot more quarterfinal, so a lot more at stake, so a lot more fast.
Martin Vitry now.
Wow.
Doing his cross step as he reaches buoy number 1. So in first place, Leonika in second. In third, we have Itzel Delgado on the Infinity. Itzel Delgado trying to make a move right now on the outside in this first quarterfinal. In fourth, we've got the less experienced Sergio Cantoral, 16-year-old Sergio from Spain on the NSP.
These 3 are very even.
Lurking and hoping for some mistakes and some chaos at the front. Oh, good move by Leonika there.
Yeah, on the inside. I mean, you just push your way through. What can the guys do? They got to let him in. So, Leo went from Itzel's got some work to do. These are not 2 average people to get past. Look at Sergio come back up.
Is Martin Vitry running out of steam? I'm surprised he let Leonika go past him so easily. And it doesn't look super high in terms of cadence right now, Martin Vitry, but still in second position, so still through to the semi-finals. We'll see what Itzel does. He's got to make a move if he wants to qualify for the semis.
As I said, they had a very fast pace in the going out, so they're all tired. Okay, Itzel's definitely going to try and catch up. He could be tired from that repechage. Martin didn't have a repechage.
He didn't.
He went straight through, so he should be.
Neither did Leo.
This is the final turn. It catches up you with the more racing, especially at this level and this space. So
Itzel has to make a move now if he wants to qualify for the semi-finals and keep scoring points, very important points towards the overall ranking in this APP World Tour.
Itzel. There he goes.
Here comes Itzel, overtaking Martin Vitry.
Martin's napping.
Yes, it is Leonika in first, Itzel Delgado in second, and Martin Vitry. What an upsetting finish for the Frenchman. Martin Vitry out of the sprint competition now with arriving in fourth, Sergio Cantoral. Wow.
Yeah, I wonder
Martin
why.
Vitry looks
I think he actually got it. Yeah, I think he just caught him off guard. I think he was like, oh, I'm second, and then didn't really see Itzel on the left coming past him. Obviously, you could tell how much Itzel wanted it. Nearly face planted, jumping off the board. You could see his legs just caught him. He just wanted it more. Martin, very good paddle. Should have got second. Didn't want it enough.
Sure. Here's the replay. I'll actually ask the question: Is Martin Vitry out of shape? He's just spent 3 weeks in Bali surfing. Did he have time to actually put in the hours?
See, we go here. You
needed
see,
for
you can see
sprint
Martin
training.
didn't really contest. Yeah, I'm surprised. I think he'll be kicking himself, especially once you watch the replay. He'll be like, "Oh, that was silly."
Well, so now we know Itzel Delgado is a strong starter, but also a strong finisher. He was third,
really
and we until a few minutes ago we saw him not making it through to the semis.
Number 2.
Quarterfinal number 2 with Arthur Arukin from France, Claudio Nica. So another France versus Italy match right now. Blue Ewer from England and Fernando Brotons, the very surprising Spaniard Fernando Brotons Moreno, wearing the yellow lycra.
Fernando is the fast starter, correct?
He is. He's proven it twice already. He had to go through the repechage round though.
He did. So did Blue. So they'll both be a little more fatigued. Arthur and Claudia should walk away with this one.
Well, we've got the European sprint champion, Claudio Nica. So he's probably my favorite at this stage.
Again, you've got to get a good start.
You do.
You've got to get a good start. And we've seen this sand has actually messed people up more than we expected.
What would be your strategy here? Would you be running as far as possible, or would you jump on your board early?
Good question. You know, you actually want to. I just noticed you want to get. It's all about that glide. If you can get that glide, so you kind of want to. If you can get it straight away, it's better. But yeah, you got to be careful. You don't jump in too early. Let's see what they do here.
All right, great start. Blue Ewer.
Oh, who's in the yellow? Oh, Fernando fell in.
Okay, we need to see what's happening at the front. We've got, I think, Blue Ewer in third and Fernando in fourth. At the front, it's Claudio Nica versus Arthur Arukin. Italy in first place. Maybe Blue Ewer making a comeback on Arthur Arukin on the JP Australia board and wearing blue. Claudio Nica, look at that cheeky sort of. Being pushed also by the wind, but still making it in first position at that first buoy. Arthur Arukin in second, wearing red. Blue Ewer from England in third, trying to overtake now Arthur Arukin. That is going to be tough against the 2018 APP World Champion Arthur Arukin.
Claudia's looking nice up front.
And
really
Claudio Nica,
he's got a good start. He's recovering
the race.
Controlling the race. That's exactly right. Obviously, we know his speed. You know he's very fast. Arthur should be able to hold Blue off. Arthur's very talented, very strong.
And very experienced.
Blue's giving everything he can, so I would too. It's going to be very hard to get past Arthur. Let's see, we saw it in the last race. Itzel passed Martin right at the end.
And Claudio Nica keeps looking under his shoulder to see
I think he's just pacing himself. I think he knows the more I can save in the tank, I can use it later.
Once again, another glance. Look at that. He's got 2 boards length of gap, leading gap for him, reaching buoy number 4. 2 more buoys to go.
Arthur's on his back hill. Blue. I mean, it's so short.
That's a wide turn for Blue.
Fatigue, just the fatigue.
That's a bit too wide. Also being pushed by the wind.
In though, the top 2 of here. Arthur's just taken off. He's jumped on Claudia as well. She's not. He won't even try and take on Claudia.
Yeah.
They both know they're through.
You know what? It's experience kicking in for Arthur Arukin. Is Arthur trying to make a move onto Claudio right now? Why? Why would you do that at this stage when you know you are actually making it through to the semis?
But Arthur's got some speed. I mean.
He does.
Look at that.
Great finish by Arthur. Wow. I didn't expect that from him at this stage, knowing that he's already qualified.
There was a deep part. They nearly stumble. He wanted the win. I mean, he's an athlete at heart. So
well done, France.
He took the win. They'll both be in different semis probably after that. Normally there's one hard semi and one easier semi. So that's luck of the draw. Well done to Blue in third.
So third place for Blue Ewer. Being greeted there by Will Kitley from Kingsbridge. And crossing the line now is Fernando Brotons Moreno, who showed some great skills until now. Obviously, he's got more experience to gain out of these APP World Tour competitions. So maybe a Spaniard will see more in the tour next year. Here's the replay.
They ran a little deep. They ran a lot deeper. They get past that little shore break. Fernando fell in, and then it was the 2 favourites basically. Claudia 100% controlled the race till the end. Yeah, I mean these 2 guys are looking good.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
really are. They always do.
has been, you know, I always see him as the underdog, but let's not forget he's the world champion under the ISA.
Very fast.
In the sprint, so he's also very technical. So this is a perfect setting for him.
Surprising sprint finish. Arthur again, athlete at heart. Claudia didn't back down either. Arthur's also a very good runner. I do know that. Well, actually, you said he wasn't a good runner.
Not as good as Connor, obviously.
You said he wasn't a good runner. He looked good then, though. Hopefully he didn't. I think they might have used a bit more energy than they should have. For that. I mean, the semi-finals are not that long away.
All right, so quarterfinals, is that hit number 2 or hit number 3?
Number 4.
Number 4. Graphic people, you've got it wrong. It's hit number 4. Hit number 3. I've got it wrong. Shuri Araki from Japan, Rafael Sirven from Spain, Christian Andersen from Denmark, and Joan Garcia Valero. And I'm insisting on the Joan part, not the Juan part. Again, because it's a Catalan name. It's got an O in it and not a U.
It's a tough heat.
And
Shuri and Shrimpy and Christian.
Yeah, Shrimpy, Rafael, Christian, and Joan. Who are you going for on this one?
I mean, obviously I want Shrimpy to go through, and I expect Christian Andersen to go through. However, Rafael might be an upset.
He's a very strong paddler.
Yeah.
For sure. He's also the local boy. He might have that extra support that gives him wings in this quarterfinal. We'll see. But Christian Andersen looking super determined there. Whoop.
Very tough quarterfinal.
Being called out by Anthony Vella.
See how they start. Let's see how far deep they run in. Hopefully the camera gets it.
All right, make sure you switch cameras quickly.
No, camera didn't get it.
Nice. Back by from Anthony Vella. We need to know what's going on up front.
Blue. Christian Andersen's in the blue and Rafael in the white. Shrimpy's in the red.
So Christian Andersen on the Fanatic board at the front of this third quarterfinal. In white, Rafael Sirven from Spain. Ooh, watch out, Shrimpy in third is in a tough spot right now.
He's got some work to do. However, if anyone can do it, it can be Shrimpy. He can do a turn and then just sprint past the guy, and he's going to try that straight away.
Yeah, he is. Right, Taguchi style, I was going to say, probably one of the...
Wow, look at Christian Andersen.
Yeah, Christian Andersen, very much in front. Very much in front. But the Japanese, you know, they can...
So Shrimpy's on the inside, so he's in a better position. It's very hard to turn, though. Obviously, he's going to block his paddle. Let's see what he does.
That's a bad,
look at this.
Bad move by Rafael Sirven. He should have closed that that gap as he was
however, Rafael knows
reaching buoy number 2.
Now Rafael's got the inside, so Shrimpy didn't quite get away like we thought he would. Shrimpy's fit, we do know that. And this 3-minute race.
So Rafael Sirven, the race is really happening for that second place right now with Christian Andersen very much in the lead right now with 10 or 20 meters of commanding lead in this third quarterfinal. Here he is, Christian Andersen, Paul Albert.
Ooh, these two really are battling.
From Klitmüller.
No one's giving an inch.
Ooh,
okay, got one more
great turn by Shrimpy there on the NSP.
If he gets a length in front, he'll close the door.
Oh, Rafael Sirven
looks like he got it.
Not looking as good as in the first half of the race, and Shrimpy looking super aggressive here. All the experience is now being used by the young Japanese 16-year-old Shrimpy in second place, qualifying, I believe, for the semi-finals. Unfortunately for the local boy Rafael Sirven.
Good show though.
The sprint competition is over, but Christian Andersen, I'm very excited to see Christian Andersen in a dominant position, because that's what's missing every time for
so Shrimpy had to work very hard for that one against Rafael. I was very unlucky at Rafael. I think he's good enough to be in the semi.
Yeah.
He just had a tough heat, you know, against the former ISA swimmer, just the recent ISA swimmer, Shrimpy, and Christian Andersen's on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel unlucky for a local kid.
Absolutely. But I have to say I'm impressed by what Christian Andersen has just produced, and I wonder how that measures up against the likes of Connor Baxter and Claudio.
Well, what on to those two on screen. We're going to go crow the replay. We did miss the start, unfortunately. said the race wasn't for first. Christian had that sign up. The race was for second. Shrupi had his work cut out for him. He's confident. Obviously,
come back from third to second is also it's not easy, and that says a lot as to his experience.
Yeah. Well, for a 16-year-old.
For a 16-year-old, absolutely. Obviously, we're talking about the two-time 2022 world champion in technical racing and long distance.
Yeah.
So surely we can say he already has some kind of experience of international competition.
So well done to the local boys. Unfortunately, didn't make it to the semis, and I guess we have last one, quarterfinal 4.
Yeah, with Connor Baxter in red, Manuel Rojas Oyuela in white, Donato France, the young Dutchman in blue, and Riccardo Rossi, the Italian,
still there
on
still
Infinity going. In yellow.
I mean, obviously, I think Connor and Manuel are the two favourites for this one.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, Donato France looks good. He made that extra push earlier on in the repechage, the last repechage round. Riccardo Rossi, he looked good. He looked very good in the technical race at the European Championship. He was leading for a long while before he fell, and behind there was Titouan Pouillot. There was I think Clément Colmas. So yeah. He can pull out a good game at the right moment, Riccardo. So yeah, should we see Connor Baxter at the front though?
Should be Connor Baxter said.
Oh, there they are. We missed. Come on, switch cameras, guys. We want to see what's happening. Thank you. Connor Baxter in the lead. Riccardo Rossi in third right now in yellow. In fourth, it's in blue. Donato France. So that means in second place is Manuel Oyuela Rojas, but look who's making a comeback. Riccardo Rossi trying to go on between those two athletes, between Connor Baxter and Manuel Oyuela. So Manuel Oyuela has to change direction and block Riccardo Rossi, in all fairness. And Connor Baxter first, Manuel Oyuela second, Riccardo Rossi third, and Donato France from the Netherlands in fourth.
Camera go, Connor. Yeah, Connor's going to win this one easy. I said Manuel, I think he's got this one sewn up. Didn't see the start, unfortunately. Maybe they put it on purpose. Everyone said we don't know how fast Connor's going. But yeah, I mean, Manuel's just going to hang on to Connor here. And can Riccardo Rossi get around Manuel?
Oh.
I'm not sure.
The wind must be strong, because all of a sudden it looks like the pace is really much lower.
I think Connor's it's not as he's got it under control. He knows no one's going to go around him.
Yeah.
He's conserving. It's going to pay off later in the racing. You'll be surprised when you give it the max effort. It hurts you 15-20 minutes later. You're like, whoa. So Connor's conserving. Connor's cruising.
Yeah. The 2022 ISA Sprint World Champion, another world title for Connor Baxter this year.
He's won 2 of these APP sprints, correct?
Yeah, he won two sprint races. Battle for second is on with Riccardo Rossi, who's got the inside. So Manuel Oyuela in the middle on the Sonova.
Remember, second goes through. Rossi backed off. That was actually good sportsmanship, but it might have cost him. We'll see now.
Right, so we're going to see a big sprint between Riccardo Rossi, Manuel Oyuela, and Donato France for the second place.
You hear the cheer.
Manuel Oyuela still in second place, but watch out for Riccardo Rossi from Italy. Connor Baxter
easy win too.
Comfortably in first, but let's make sure we see what's happening in the back between Manuel second, Riccardo Rossi third out of the sprint competition for today, and Donato France, 17-year-old Donato.
Well done. I mean, well done to Connor, of course.
Did well.
We expected. That race for second was probably the most exciting race there was. We'll see that on the replay. Manuel, Riccardo, and Donato. I mean, Riccardo had the inside at the end.
No, but you called it right, Travis. You called for Connor and Manuel. It's exactly what happened.
After France, I saw Manuel paddle. I was like, whoa, he's really good. Yes. He's really good. So a little freeze. So Connor had it easy. Manuel did it tough, like Shrimpy.
Yeah.
he had to earn that second place. Here goes Connor.
Well, Manuel is from Spain, so that definitely gives some extra energy for sure. Being on the water, he's always being supported by his family who travels with him.
The beach was going crazy at the back, so Holly's on the beach, I believe, with Connor Baxter. Maybe not.
Maybe not. So we're getting ready for heat number 1 of the semi-finals. Well, first semi-final really. Mélanie Lafenette from France, Ji-won Choi from South Korea, Caterina Stenta from Italy, and Juliette Duhaime. So 2 of these ladies will qualify for the final.
Real quick, Holly's ready. So Holly's on the beach with our quarterfinal winners.
Thanks, guys. I'm here beachside with Connor Baxter, who just won his quarterfinal. Connor, you've not lost a heat all day. How's today been so far for you?
So far, so good. You know, just trying to get into that rhythm. First heat kind of had a little bobble at the start, which that's why I love these kind of formats. You can have a few races where you just got to get the cobwebs dusted off and then kind of just build on that performance each time. And, you know, so I got 2 firsts so far. These ones don't necessarily matter, but kind of boost the confidence going into the finals.
Well, we'll see you in the semi-finals, Connor, and back to you guys in the studio. Thank you.
Connor, exactly. I mean, as we're progressing, it's going faster. It's going more technical as well to obviously counter-attack. And when you're under the attack of people in the back behind you, and the confidence boost that you can see on Connor's face.
So back to semi-final women.
Yes, absolutely, with Mélanie Lafenette, Ji-won Choi from Korea, Caterina Stenta from Italy, and Juliette Duhaime from Argentina.
So obviously 2 go through, it looks like. 2 go through to the final. Yes, it's a 4-women final.
All right.
2 go through. So
and the 3rd and 4th go to the small final. What do you call it? The consolation final.
Just for points. They got to work out the points for the overall.
Yeah.
So there are 2 finals for the women. So all these women will paddle twice. 1 in the real final, 1 in the consolation final.
Yeah.
I said we're at the end of the business end.
Well, I'd be surprised not to see Mélanie Lafenette reaching first position in this race. She is definitely one of the favorites in this sprint competition. She won the European title in the in technical racing.
Oh, yes.
She was 2nd at the ICF event in Poland, just behind April Zilg. We're talking about 1 microsecond behind April Zilg. It was such a great race to watch. And here's another one coming up with Mélanie
in the red. Melanie's in the red.
Juliette Duhaime, Caterina Stenta, and Ji-won Choi. Ji-won had the best start, it seems, but Juliette Duhaime now attacking hard. But it seems that Mélanie Lafenette and Juliette right now are at the front. Watch out for Ji-won though. She is coming from the outside. Caterina Stenta, a bit surprisingly, is sitting in 4th right now.
Tough semi-final.
It is. But Mélanie Lafenette now has got enough experience to fight off these ladies, and she is now comfortably in first position as she reaches buoy number 1. 4 buoys to go, left to go. Juliette Duhaime in 2nd place, Caterina Stenta in 3rd, neck and neck with Ji-won. Actually, Ji-won now taking over the 3rd position.
Yeah, Melanie looks great. She's paddling really well. Not going to catch her from here. Juliette looks like she's trying a little harder, and she's done an extra race as well. So, yeah, Melanie and April in the final, I think will be a really good final.
Yeah, and Juliette Duhaime still very consistent in 2nd place on the Infinity Board, another Blackfish model for Juliette. And while Melanie is on a 45 Pro.
45, I see that. They've really gapped 3 and 4 just then in the upwind section. Melanie looking comfortable. Juliette also looks quite good. She's actually, she's definitely got a little shorter, so slightly higher stroke rate. Nothing wrong with that, just a shorter stroke and you tap along. Melanie quite powerful. Juliet's actually caught back up.
She is. She caught up and sitting in second right now. Katerina Stenta in third.
First two go through.
Ji-won Choi in fourth from Korea. Korea put together a fantastic Busan SUP Open. Definitely one of the highlights of this APP World Tour season. Mélanie Lafenette from France, from the club of La Cigale Surf Club in Saint-Maxime in the south of France.
They have a big race each year.
Yeah, it's called the SUP Race Cup.
Yes.
It happens in May every year. SUP Race Cup. Make sure you make your way to Saint-Maxime on the French Riviera next year.
Seeing Melanie in action.
Absolutely.
Well, Melanie is looking good for the final. If she can do that again in the final.
Yeah.
Obviously she's against Cecilia is the other favourite for the women who won the other heat.
Yeah.
Who's up next? Juliet is through, so those two safely into the final. And the other two women will be doing the consolation to round out points afterwards for their overall, because this is the last event of the APP.
Wow.
Here in
good job, Melanie. I have to say I'm very impressed how comfortable she is. You know, despite being under pressure, she really performs well. So I think this year she had a spectacular year, and all that experience is definitely going to pay off in 2023. I think she's definitely going for the full tour in 2023.
Here's the replay from the beginning. They ran very deep, these women. From the beginning, I mean, Melanie and Juliet really were the favourites. We thought Choi had a great start, but as I said, in the end, Melanie led from start to finish. That very important turn at the beginning, so it's very hard to pass. So, well done to Melanie. Well done to Juliet. They might be on the beach with Holly soon, so just to get their thoughts before the final. We'll stand by for that if Holly can grab them. Semi-final 2 coming up, Matthew.
Yeah, with some big names as you would expect.
Let's throw to Holly on the beach. Holly has, Melanie on the beach. Go to you, Holly.
Thanks, guys. I am here with Mélanie Lafenette. Mélanie, 2 heats, 2 wins. How is this day going for you?
It's hard. My heart is ta-ta-ta. No, it's not too easy. The weather is like the first, the first hit. And yes, I'm happy to finish first. And I cross the finger for the final.
And do you think that you can come up against April Zilg in the final?
No, I don't know. J'ai pas là.
Back to you guys in the studio.
She's exhausted. That's all that is. I know obviously you got to translate. Oh, up to you, Matthew.
Hit number 2 coming up with Cecilia Pampinella, the junior phenomenon from Italy. April Zilg, the already crowned 2022 APP World Tour champion. Alba Alonso Frey from Fuerteventura, she showed great skills in her last race. Yona Rivet from France, the underdog. We'll see how this goes, but I reckon Cecilia Pampinella and April Zilg
should walk this one in. Cecilia was very impressed in the first heat.
Yeah, and I'm actually curious what's going to be the position for first and second between those two, especially at the start.
Yeah, we'll find out in a minute. Hopefully we get the good start with the camera to see that is that's where the whole race can be won and lost, is off these very starts. So hopefully get the viewer a good start. Again, that was good for Melanie. She's just exhausted. Trying to translate to English is hard when you're exhausted, I've been told. Here they go.
That's Alba on the starboard. Cecilia Pampinella on the NSP in red.
It's shallow. See how I ran that?
And great start by Cecilia Pampinella. 17-year-old Cecilia Pampinella now attacking hard towards this first buoy. 5 buoys to go, 300 meters to go.
Looks like she's in front.
And she is in front. April Zilg on her right-hand side. And it's Alba,
Alba,
in blue
yeah.
on the left, and in yellow we've got Yona Rivet from France in 4th right now.
April's in 3rd. Look at this.
Ooh, April
Alba,
Zilg
look
in
at Alba.
3rd place. She might be out of the final if it's
We'll see what
stays like
happens.
that.
She's got the power, so that was
Wow,
nearly an even turn, all three.
That tells you a lot about Alba's
Alba.
performance. Wow, a newcomer on the international SUP racing scene, Alba Alonso Frey from Fuerteventura. She is currently leading the race. I wasn't expecting this at all. Let's see if she manages to keep that first position
And she's on
all the way to the arch.
She's in front, so she's going to turn this one. Let's see how good the
Wow,
turns
she got a
are
full boss length.
with the wind.
Wow.
Reverse
Front
stroke,
side
reverse stroke.
turn
Well, she's
for
not-
Alba. Oh, that's
it's hard
going
as
to be
front
too
side.
wide. She's
they're all
but
having a
no
good
one's
time.
taking advantage of that. So she's still very much in the lead.
Cecilia held up April there, unfortunately.
Cecilia Pampinella in 2nd place on the NSP.
And then the top 2 go through to the final.
So right now we've got a bit of an upset with Alba Alonso Frey leading by 15 meters with the junior world champion and the women world champion chasing her. That's an incredible scenario with April Zil.
That's incredible. Alba's very fast.
Now in 4th position with Yona Rivet taking 3rd place. What an upsetting race.
Alba's paddling great. Her turns are going to let her down in the final, unfortunately. Alba's very good at the straight line. Her turns are going to affect her.
Wow.
We'll see. Cecilia, I think, is going to get 2nd. April's going to miss out in the final, unfortunately.
She is. That's incredible. That keeps a bit of some suspense
for Melanie will be happy for that.
For the overall sprint results. Well, it sounds like the big final really is going to be between
Alba.
Alba, Cecilia, and Melanie. And who is the other? Juliette. Of course, but what a performance by Alba.
Yeah, dominant.
She did manage to keep her first position all the way.
Oh,
hold on.
Pushing.
There's 40 meters left to go. There's a 10-meter beach run to do. Alba looking still in first position, looking good. But look at Cecilia Pampinella catching up. No, not really. Alba Alonso Frey. Oh my God, remember this name coming out of Fuerteventura. Alba Alonso Frey.
Well done, Cecilia, 2nd. April won't be happy with that, unfortunately.
Yeah, April Zil. What a surprising result for April. All down to the great performance by the Spaniard Alba Alonso Frey. What a great idea for Ibaya Moreno to introduce Alba to the sport, because we like to see new names.
So Cecilia, actually, they all had a very good start. It was very even on the start. And Alba just took it far in front. She can't even see. She's on camera. Cecilia caught up. She could have come out. She jumped off. Obviously, Alba's a very good athlete. Very good running through the water there. Yeah, Melanie and Alba's going to be
Spain
an interesting
first,
final now.
Italy 2nd, and then USA and France. And we're going to have a great final, guys. So make sure you stick around, because we've got finals coming up. I guess we're going to have the.
So yeah, well, up next we're gonna cross to the women's with Holly. We're gonna cross to the winner of that last, and then we straight up after that we'll cross with the men's semi-finals. So you can see them on the line. They're lining up now. Claudia and Nick are lining up. Semi-final 1 we don't have yet. So while we're waiting, we're going to float a Holly on the beach with the women's semi-final winners. Go to
I'm here beachside with Alba Frey after she just won the semi-finals for the women. Alba, you started racing in 2022. It's your first APP event and you're already in the final. How does that feel?
I don't know. I'm so happy right now. In the first heat, I fell. I finished in the last position, so I was so negative. But now I'm so happy because I won. I'm in the final, so happy.
Well, congratulations, Alba. We can't wait to see you in the final. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Holly. Heat 1 of the semi-final number 1 is next. Alba's happy. That was fantastic. Here we go. Sorry, Matthew, take it.
Yeah, Leonard Nica from Italy in red, Arthur Aritkin wearing white from France, Itzel Elgato from Peru in blue, and Claudio Nica in yellow. Two Nica brothers.
That is a very,
in the same
very stacked semi-final.
And it looks like it could be any World Championship final, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that could. There's only 4 spots, so there's only 2 spots. So this could be a final. Unfortunately, it won't be. Only 2 are going to make it through.
And the last 2 will make it through to the consolation finals.
Just for points. Itzel needs a good score here because he needs as many points as he can get to basically kind of Connor. Shrimpy is in the next heat. He also needs a good score. So Itzel is going to want it the most. But again, when you're racing the 2 Nica brothers and Arthur, there's no one's going to give an inch. No one's going to let Itzel walk away with it. So it's hard with the men. I think obviously the start and the finish is the only place you can really make a move. So let's hope hopefully.
Unless your name is Rai Taguchi, we all remember what Rai Taguchi did in Busan.
He did.
Incredible.
Turned and burned. They had a little longer that course as well.
Oh, was it?
This is a very short course, so it's not much room to make mistakes. Everyone's on the edge of their seat. Basically the highest cadence they can. Their legs will be burning by the end. The people who have done less races are going to have a little advantage. They're going to be a little bit less fatigued, and you don't feel that fatigue until you're at your maximum. So, like I said, I don't know who. I think Itzel might be a little fatigued doing extra racings. Let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. So Anthony Vella is gathering the athletes right now. The race director from Dana Point, performance paddling, and blue sky here in Alicante, one of the best places to live according to the World Health Organization. So I'm glad to be here. We should come here more often. Actually, we're coming back here. We're coming back here in
first race APP next year,
in April next year, in a few months.
There's just heard from Anthony Vella there might be some sort of penalty in the last race, so that's why the delay.
I think the April 4.
We're seeing what that is. We haven't been told yet, but we do know they're reviewing the last race of the women's. So hence for the delay, which is actually a good thing for the men. They kind of need to get their breath back a little bit. But yes, where were we? Alicante 2023, first race of the season. We're back to the beach. Yeah, it'll be warmer time of year.
Yeah.
December,
can you believe it?
Obviously there might be some wind too. Alicante can get some wind, thermal wind. Obviously when the land heats up in summer, you get that onshore breeze. Being winter, they get the nice offshore breezes the whole time. So where are we, the men? Oh, there's still ways. There's Anthony Vella talking to someone there. So like I said, you watch how fast this start will be. I mean, this is elite as these guys get.
Oh, nice.
For the start, so hopefully the camera crew gets a good start on this.
Yeah, hopefully. 2 Nica brothers from Italy.
Too fast, Nica brothers.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a semi-final, and Itzel Elgato and Frenchman Arthur Aritkin. So some big names for this first semi-final coming up.
I think the tide's gone out a bit, Matthew, because the last race they're running very deep. So obviously they're off.
They're off. And who's got the best start?
Speed. Oh, that yellow's in.
Claudio Nica. Oh, that's a dreadful start by Claudio.
Archer on the white, very powerful.
Arthur, I think, is leading by the nose of his board.
Blue is Itzel, as you can see. On the left, on the inside is Leo. I think he's had the.
Oh, Leo first potentially, or is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and he's got the inside. So great start by Leo Nica.
Yeah, I mean Claudia's not going to get through these guys. That was an unfortunate mishap. He's probably the fastest off the beach normally.
Arthur Aritkin in second.
Itzel's got some work to do to pass Arthur.
It definitely has. So at this stage, I guess I would be try and be super aggressive at the next buoy turns. That's the only way. That's the only way to be able to pass in front of Arthur.
APP is very cutthroat. Only 2 going through. 4 in a final. It's a very slim final. Makes it a little more spectacular.
Oh, Claudio and Nica looking a bit unbalanced here as well.
When you fall in, you sort of be shaky for a while. It's something that I'm sure a scientist, a sports scientist could tell you why, but yeah, when you fall in, you're a little shaky. So Leo, it's going to be hard to get past Leo. I wonder how, like I said, Itzel is going to do it again on the sprint finish to the beach. He's done it every race. He's going to be fatigued.
We're on buoy number 3 right now, and Leo Nica is still in front. Arthur Arikin is not far behind. There's a bit of a gap behind Arthur, and it's Itzel Agado from Peru in 3rd on the Infinity board. So we've got Starboard, Fanatic, and Infinity and Starboard in this first semi-final, with a bit of a surprising start by Claudio Nica, who totally missed, failed
He
start.
fell in, unfortunately. Yeah, boards are tippy. Little nerves. Okay, Itzel's trying to move on Arthur on the inside. Look, he's going to try and push him. He's pushing him. They're pushing him all.
This is his last chance, and he might be able to make it.
Oh.
There is going to be a sprint between Itzel Delgado and all three now. All three, as Arthur Aritkin is pushing hard, and Leo Nica is looking out of steam right now with Arthur Aritkin overtaking, and Itzel Delgado pushing for that spot in the final. Oof. Leo Nica losing some ground. Who's going to run first? Itzel Delgado. Wow.
No,
Itzel Delgado.
Did not expect that.
Incredible finish by Itzel Delgado from Peru first. Arthur Aritkin from France second.
Miss out.
And Leo Nica. Oh wow.
I thought Leo would win that. You know, obviously, like I said, the last turn shows how much Itzel wants this. You know, I mean, he's got more on the line. He definitely might have conserved on the race. He might have sat in 3rd and been like, you know what, I'm going to get pulled along, knowing I'm not going to try past now. Here's the replay. Wow. That's my guess. I mean, he had a great start. Didn't pay off, surprisingly. So it looks like he might have sat back. Again, I'm impressed with Itzel this year. And here it is, all 3 neck and neck.
What a great comeback by the Peruvian Prince, who might be crowned king at some point this weekend. With this fantastic sprint finish. Wow. Itzel Delgado.
They were going nowhere. The water was coming backwards. Leo stayed on his board, which was the right thing to do, and ran out of steam. He's out of gas.
I think I understand why they call them the Infinity Speed Freaks, you know. You have to pull the speed at the right time, and that's exactly what Itzel did.
Final number 2.
Right, some big names also coming up in the second semi-final from Hawaii. Connor Baxter, rather from Maui. Connor Baxter, Christian Andersen from Denmark, from Klitmøller, aka called Hawaii, from Swanses, Cantabria, Spain, Manuel Rojas, and from Japan, from Okinawa, Japan, Shuri Araki, aka Shrimpy.
Whoa.
That's a big one as well.
I thought the last heat was tough. Connor, whoa, I don't know. I mean, Connor and Christian, from what I've seen the last
years. Connor Christian is what I'm going for.
However, Shrimpy could do just what Itzel did.
Yeah, I wonder why Shrimpy had such a start.
I think he wants to start a little bit. Sorry guys. Okay, so we know Heat 2 is lining back up. Very, very exciting Heat 1. Semi-final number 1 there. The 2 Nica brothers unfortunately missing out, and Arthur and Itzel go to the final. Who will they race? Between Connor, Christian, Manuel, and Shuri, or otherwise Shrimpy. We should be getting ready any second now. You can see Connor in the background there.
Arthur Aritkin is always up there. Always in the APP World Tour.
Very talented, very strong.
It's incredible.
He's a racer. I know he doesn't like training that much. He doesn't train that much at all. So,
you see him a lot in Hawaii.
He's always on Maui playing on the windsurfers. Yeah, I know he's got his sponsors over there for Fanatic and Blackfish projects. So, yeah, I mean, tomorrow in the distance race, I think he's going to be out of steam. But today in the sprints, I mean, we just saw how strong he is as a competitor. I mean, you're going to see the same with us with Connor. You know, Shrimpy said Shrimpy's fast. He's still only young. He's still only 16. He hasn't got the same power, you know, these guys can generate.
Yeah.
He's got the energy. Oh, it looks like Leo's having a talk there. Leo, race director. So I didn't see anything go wrong in that race from what I saw.
No.
Apart from the end, you know, jumping on the board, off the board, the boards, you know, go everywhere in the water. But
yeah, maybe at the last buoy, maybe it's complaining about the last buoy. Not entirely sure. With Itzel pushing really hard, but let's focus now on that second semi-final with some big names: Connor Baxter, Manuel Oyuela Rojas, Christian Andersen, and Shrimpy.
Shrimpy on the outside, that's probably a good move for him. Obviously, Connor takes the inside. In the middle, you can get boxed in, right? So it's kind of good to be on the ends on these sprints.
And yeah, Christian Andersen also a great starter. We'll see what's happening. Oh, good call by Connor Baxter, who runs further than the others.
So Manuel on the blue.
Wow, great start by Shrimpy as well on the outside, closing in. And Christian Andersen in the middle. So who's left in the fourth right now? It's Manuel Oyuela Rojas from Suances in Spain.
Well, Connor.
But Connor Baxter already in a dominant position as he reaches buoy number 1, with Christian Andersen making a big push on the outside.
Exactly as predicted.
Ooh, Christian Andersen perhaps taking first position right now, but Connor Baxter's got the inside in third. Shrimpy looking much better than his previous race.
Again, Christian, I mean, he's coming from a coach with Casper. You know, Casper was the fastest sprinter, hands down. Him and Connor used to duke it out. Now he's duking it out with Christian.
Yeah.
Now it's only the semi, admittedly. Top 2 go through. Oh, Shrimpy, good turn.
A new generation of Klitmaner boys. Oh, Christian Andersen.
He wants
in first position right now. He really wants it. Is aiming for the third buoy. He's currently in first position. Connor Baxter, is he settling
I'm not
in
sure. Yeah, I'm
for
not sure
second?
how worried.
I'm not entirely sure.
I'm not sure he's worried how Connor is here. I think he knows if he doesn't burn himself too much, he's got.
Oh, look at that turn by Shrimpy in first position now. Oh, he's doing a Japanese move just like Rai Taguchi at the Busan Open. Now
Connor's going to have to really step it up, which he will. I think he's saving. He's got some in the tank. He's inside of Christian here. Christian's not going to do anything silly. I mean, it's Connor Baxter. If Connor doesn't fall, wow, look at Shrimpy.
I did mention that those radical turns and coming.
Christian just forced around there. Gee, Christian.
Oh, is Connor Baxter?
No, I mean, we'll see. I mean,
he is out of the final right now, as we speak, with only 50 meters to go. And Shrimpy, he made another crazy move.
I mean, he
first
got lucky.
position.
Normally he gets unlucky. Today he got lucky, you know. So I can see Connor really blasting past Christian Andersen here.
Those two were focusing on staying at the front of the race and went very wide. And all of a sudden, Shrimpy made that radical turn.
Yeah, Shrimpy wish that was the final right now.
Incredible.
We've got to see if the race for seconds.
Shrimpy winning semi-final number 2.
Race for second. Oh,
Connor in second.
Fortunately, we didn't see that. I think
Christian
just out of gas,
third.
to be honest. Like, he was pushing really hard. Look, that just goes to show anything happened. Christian had a bad turn.
Wow.
Held up Connor.
Well, you know, all of a sudden,
even Connor didn't expect
Connor Baxter looks a little bit more fragile than you would expect.
We'll have a replay. Yeah, I think obviously Connor didn't expect Christian to hold him up. You know, and Shrimpy just spun on the inside, round he went, home and hose. No one's going to catch him.
Wow.
Unlucky on Christian.
But this is the second time this happens from a Japanese athlete. The other time this happened was Rai Taguchi.
Here they go. All had a good start.
Now it's Shrimpy's turn to do something crazy in such a short course.
That was first turn. Yes, when you sort side by side, very
that was second buoy, I think. That was second buoy with Christian Andersen taking the first position. It's all happening right now. They're going wide.
Get around. They're too
Connor Baxter pushes Christian to the outside, and Shrimpy comes from behind
on a dime
and takes advantage of that. It's Connor Baxter pushing Christian Andersen, and those two are going.
Couldn't board. His back of his board was on Christian's tail, and he could not get it around. So.
Wow.
Yeah, when you're that close, you lose the side to paddle. Like, you sort of got to give each other space, but at the same time, not too much space, but they're comfortable. Like, yeah, that's racing.
Wow.
Look, Connor got through on the
just
end.
At the foot of the Santa Barbara Castle in the blue sky of Alicante. And we've got the consolation final coming up for the women's with Caterina Stenta from Italy, April Zilk from the USA, Ji-won Choi from South Korea, and Yona Rivet from France. I'm happy to obviously to see a French girl in there.
Yes.
It's her first APP World Tour appearance, Yona Rivet from Brittany. She's definitely one of the top French athletes on the French circuit, and she needs now more international.
Well, this
international
is for the points. This is all this is for. Literally just points.
So, talking of which, speaking of which, we've got interestingly April Zilg not making it through to the final. Correct?
Correct.
So she is currently standing in the sprints. APP World Tour competition. I'm talking about the whole circuit for the sprints.
Yes.
She's currently sitting 6,200 points ahead of Juliette. Now Juliette is in the final, so if Juliette does something as crazy as winning the final, she could be crowned today sprint champion. Well, we obviously would need to add the points that April Zil is going to score in the consolation final, but basically that sprint crown in the APP World Tour
not decided.
Sprint results is still up for grabs.
It does.
Between April Zilg from the USA and Juliette Duhaime from Argentina.
So I wonder if Juliette knows that.
I'm sure she does.
I wonder if April knows that. So I mean, as April, you can see, she's not too happy. Again, they need to do this consolation final for the points. It's hard to do a consolation final when you're not in the final. You know what I mean? You have to muster up the energy to. But again, April, it means for April at this point. So I think she's going to do well in the final. But again, it's Katerina's there. So
and someone also looking to score points is Ji-won. Ji-won Choi from Korea.
So not sure what the hold up on the beach is. We have 4 races left. 2 consolation finals and 2 real finals. The men's consolation final is actually going to be very hot. Looks like someone's police car's going past. The exact same sound as the starting siren, which you guys aren't hearing on the TV. Yeah, we have 4 finals left. I'm not sure what the hold up is.
It's I've just been told it's an official complaint between Leonika and Arthur Ripkin in the previous men's race. So I guess Anthony Vella, the race director, is going to have to deal with this situation.
I wonder what the issue was. I mean, Leo is normally, you know, he's involved in a lot of what's the word I'm trying to get? Confrontations, conflict in races. I'm not sure why. The only thing I could see was the finish. When they all jumped in, they jumped off their board. But again, if you look at every race, that happens every time.
Actually, it's not that phase I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the last buoy, because that's the only moment that they were really the boards were really touching each other. So maybe something happened at that very, very last buoy.
Hopefully, like I said, we're in the studio. We're not on the beach. We can't find out. Hopefully, someone will let us know on our earpiece, so we can let you guys know as soon as we know.
It'd be great to see a replay of that action. Actually, if the guys in the technical team hear us, that'd be fantastic to see a replay.
What they're talking about, what they're trying to find. It's kind of there. Looks like a boxer tie around his waist.
All right. This event is put together by Paris Watersports.
Daniel Paris.
Daniel Paris. So Daniel Paris is a windsurfer, veteran, is now 5-time world champion in the 50-year-old plus category under the Canoe Federation. So he won pretty much everything in Hungary last year under the ICF Federation.
Have you seen him? He's a specimen for 50-year-old.
He is. He's super fit. He definitely beats a lot of young guys. But he's also the club owner and an event organizer. And this year he put together an event called the World SUP Festival, which is an annual event. And I'm not shy of saying this is becoming one of the if not the biggest European SUP race events.
I heard it was a very big race.
I would gladly compare it to the PPG, to be honest, because the field was so stacked. This year, over 3 days of competitions, we had a national competition, we had the Euro Tour competition. It was just a fantastic event, and also that event was used by the French Federation as a qualifier for the French team. So all of a sudden you had 20 at the World SUP Festival back in June. You had 20 top Frenchmen adding up to the an already stacked field of athletes, both in the men's and the women's. So
that was organised by Daniel Paris.
Organised by Daniel Paris in Santa Pola,
only
only 30 kilometers south of Alicante.
No, he's a lovely guy, and he's the junior program he's running here. He's an athlete himself. He's a role model. He just had a kid as well. So yeah, if you ever get to meet Daniel Perez, make sure you say hi, because what he's doing, or look up what he's doing, is phenomenal. From my point, I know they just bought 40 NSP boards.
Wow.
For the program, which is incredible.
Well, we've just on TotalSUP.com, we've just published an interview with him. He explains it all. His link with NSP. Oh, there's a bit of a French shrug there by Anthony Vella as to the action on the water. So it's Tristan Boxford and Anthony Vella discussing.
I think we have to see what it is, but again, I don't remember seeing anything out of the ordinary. So
nothing obvious.
Rubbing's racing, like we got to sort of see, and maybe we missed something. So
we might have. It'd be great to see a replay actually of that race. That was semi-final number what?
That was the
first semi-final.
Leo was in the first semi-final, so very passionate, obviously. You train, you come all this way. You don't want to be disqualified for something, or miss on the race because of an interference. However, there's Anthony. So unfortunately, we don't have audio down there.
Yeah.
While he's not down there.
I guess it's all. Well, the gestures tells me that it's a no. That the claim by Leonica is received with a negative answer. We'll see.
That might be his coach next to him.
But that's Federico Esposito, the national Italian coach.
Might be Leo's coach as well.
Right next to Leo, so I can see a lot of movements signaling turn. So it has to be at something going on at the buoy. I have the feeling it's at the last buoy. But if it was a yes, it would. The explanation would probably take less long, not as long.
We are trying to find out a few guys what's going on. Again, it might not even be that important, but obviously it's holding the show up. So it's we can't go on until that's been resolved, as it involves the race director. And
if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, make sure that you tell us what you think as to what might have happened, and let's make this show as interactive as possible, especially with 4 very important races to go to finish the day. We've got the 2 consolation finals coming up for the men's and the women's, and then the big finals, the last sprint finals of the whole 2022 APP World Tour. It's all happening here on the Playa del Postiguet in the heart of the beautiful city of Alicante. And we're going to come back to that city in April with 2 back-to-back events happening in the same area. First of all, the first stop of the APP World Tour 2023, and then the World SUP Festival. And I think we're going to have our guys are trying to pull a replay of the action from that first men's semi-final. Yeah, and we're still trying to find out what's going on. We're obviously still trying to, Leo still doesn't seem to be happy, so it's still being held up. How's Leo in the points? How's Leo doing in the points? Not in overall. No, Leonica is really far behind. He's not inside the top 10 for the overall ranking. Oh, so. Actually, Alicante is a big sailing place. Oh yes.
They start the I think the Volvo Round the World race starts
Yeah,
here
the
in
Ocean
January,
race.
just outside, just around that corner. Are you looking at on TV now? Not that we're into.
Yeah, behind these buildings, there's the big Alicante
Big
Harbour.
Yacht Club. Yep.
And yeah, actually we saw sort of a familiar face earlier on. For those who know her, it's Georgia
Fairfield,
who is a renowned photographer in the stand-up paddle world, and she's covering right now the ocean race for one of the team. I think a French team actually.
Yeah, for a French team, Volvo.
All right,
okay.
Consolation final coming up now with the Italian Caterina Stenta wearing red, April Zilg in white from the USA, Ji-won Choi from South Korea, and Yona Rivet from Brittany, France. Not bad for a first appearance in the APP World Tour for Yona Rivet. Two of these girls are really looking at adding points to their overall rankings, and that's April Zilg and Ji-won Choi, because they are sitting in the top 5, both of them, in the overall ranking. So that consolation final, although it's not the main final, is very, very important for these, especially for these two
and Katerina,
two athletes.
Anthony's still in discussions.
Wow.
Yeah, so we still haven't heard. Unfortunately, they haven't got back to us and said.
I thought we were ready to go, but no, there's still some discussion going on between race director Anthony Vella, came all the way from Dana Point for this event.
I don't think it's a big deal. I just think it's
and we've got the Korean APP
otherwise
team.
we would know, so it's just been held up, unfortunately. There's the Korean APP team.
Yeah, doing some K-pop dancing.
APP it's called, for career APP.
Here's Ji-won. She's keeping warm. She's got a consolation final coming up.
Got a final coming up.
And this is the KPP CEO.
Anthony's trying. I know the World Cup is 4 o'clock has started. I know Anthony's trying to get the show on the road. So 4 more races, so hang in there.
All right.
Hopefully not.
And we've got some football match coming up. So let's make sure that we go through these 4 finals left in today's competition. Day 1 of the Alicante SUP Open, the 5th and last APP World Tour stop for 2022. And I couldn't emphasize enough the fact that Spain is definitely becoming one of the central points of SUP racing in the world right now, with so many kids being trained by obviously the Daniel Water Sport Club, but also a few other clubs in Fuerteventura, in the Canaries, in Mallorca, with Laura Ketglass and so on. All right, we're getting ready. By the look of it,
we just had word Leo's protest was refused. So racing as normal. Sorry for the delay on that, folks. We'll find out more, but I don't think it was anything, to be honest. So yes, consolation final number 1 for the women.
Yeah, Ji-won in blue, Yona in yellow, April in white, and Caterina in red. Who's going to have the best start? Caterina Stenta running as far as possible. She is a runner. She is a trail runner for sure. And she's a SUP racer, of course. She is in the lead right now. Caterina Stenta in first position. What's happening to April Zilg? That's a very modest start by a world champion. April Zilg currently sitting in 4th. April currently in 4th position. Who's in blue in the inside? That's Ji-won Choi. Caterina Stenta on the starboard, taking the lead, followed by Yona Rivet. Where is April right now?
April's gone
maybe
for clean water. She just wants some clean water, get away from the wash.
So
that's
going.
Worked. She knows she's got the paddle power, so that's what you do, I guess. You saw her with tippy.
And making a push now. April Zilg at the front, trying to take first place. She is managing to take first place, but she does the outside on the next buoy with Caterina Stenta on the inside. Yona Rivet in 3rd. The South Korean Ji-won Choi in 4th right now. This is all for points. So April Zilg trying to secure as many points as she can in this race. It's not a big final, so it's a bit of a disappointment for the world champion April Zilg. but she is leading right
so
now.
When she gets clean water, she'll walk away. She's probably the stronger paddler of all the girls, but just again, when it's hard in these sprint races to get past someone. So she's in clean. I think it'd be hard for them to catch, but Katerina, like, very impressive. Unfortunately, unlucky Katerina didn't make the final either. Really.
Oh, that's a pretty slow turn. She's trying to control the race. And it's working. It's working with Katerina Stenta really struggling to start again after that buoy number 3. So April Zeal still very much in the lead right now in this consolation final.
Well, Iona's knocking on the door now for Katerina.
Yeah, Iona looking to do to impress on her first APP World Tour appearance. Iona Rive in yellow on the NSP. Now trying to make a move on Katerina Stenta, who's still resisting in second place, but April Zilg is flying away.
So she'll get 5th
from them.
Another 5th. It'll be 5th in the sprints.
With 5th place, she scores 5,000 points, which I guess makes her.
It'll be hard for Juliet to catch now, yeah.
Which makes her world champion in the sprints as well as the overall world champion. Obviously, this has to be reviewed. It's just me and doing some math, but with this 5th position right now, April Zilg, despite not being in the sprint finals, is scoring some very important points towards a new world title in the sprint. So Iona Rive in 2nd, Katerina Stenta in 3rd, and here comes Jiwon Choi from Korea. And
no, look, she's very happy. That's great. That's good to see,
She is, and she's waiting for us in Busan next year, because these guys, they definitely know how to put together a great event.
Yeah, I heard the Busan event was fantastic. I helped commentate with Tristan from my home in Hawaii.
Okay.
But when I was talking with him and Anthony, they said it was an unbelievably organised event. A lot of people down there. Again, replay, sorry, of course.
Here comes the replay. April Zilg in the middle on the 404 board, but Katerina Stenta was definitely the quickest. April Zilg managed to overtake Katerina in between buoy number 1 and number 2, and she controlled the race after that. And I need confirmation, but I think Iona Rive finished in 2nd place.
Yeah, we're going to see that. Yeah.
So here she is, Iona Rive making a move on Katerina Stenta. That's a good move if that's the case indeed, because Katerina Stenta has got a lot of experience. That's the case.
Yeah,
Iona Rive,
well
2nd.
Holly's on the beach with April. So over to you, Holly.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with April Zilg, who just won the consolation finals for the women. Our world champion. April, how has today been for you?
Oh, it's been a lovely day. Sun is shining most of the time. It's a little chilly when the clouds covered up, but other than that, great day on the water.
And you just missed out on that final. How was that for you? I know you've not really been in training.
Yeah, no, I mean, the competition here is really strong. I don't want to say anything that detracts from their abilities. I could have shown up perfectly trained and still wound up in the same positions, so you can't really speculate. I am in my off season right now, though, but again, that doesn't mean that anything would have been different. So everyone here is just the talent here coming out of France and Spain is world class, and they're amazing ladies and amazing paddlers.
Very true. Thank you so much, April. Always a pleasure watching you race. Rest up for tomorrow. Back to you guys in the studio.
Not wrong. The talent has gotten a lot better. I mean, she might be on her off season. She kind of got, they're a little faster than I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, consolation.
Yeah, consolation final with Leonika, who is definitely in that small final. From Italy, Christian Andersen from Denmark, from Klitmøller. Claudio Nica, another Nica brother in that consolation final, also from Italy. Both live in Portugal, actually. And Manuel Rojas Oyuela from Suances, Cantabria, Spain, in yellow. Also a very fast racer.
Tough race.
another one. That could be a final. That could be a final once again.
That's really all it's for. Claudia needs some. Christian Andersen.
Yeah, Claudio Nica is the only SUP racer in the overall top 10. He's currently sitting in 6th position with 10,000 points. So that's not going to make a huge difference.
There's also some prize money, yes, I believe. So
yeah,
this will be a tough race. Also, they're competitors. No one's going to just cruise. They want to beat each other. Obviously, Leo's going to be angry. Will it affect or help his result? Here we go.
Yeah, that's very interesting actually, because some people react very, very differently to
motivate him, or so both Nika sandwich, Claudia on the outside and Leo on the outside.
Yeah, and Paul Arbea on the Fanatic. Pretty unfortunate in his previous race, finishing third.
The surf stance. Leo nearly in.
Losing his balance there, but Claudio Nica is the fastest by the look of it. He made a big mistake earlier, missing the final. He is now in the lead with another Nica at the front in red. So it looks like Claudio, but Christian Andersen is not calling quit. Is in the mix, is now in 2nd place. Christian Andersen in 2nd position on the Fanatic board, wearing white from Denmark, but Claudio Nica is the fastest at the first buoy on the starboard. He falls, takes a dive, and Christian Andersen now is in 1st position. Leo Nica is in 2nd. Claudio Nica is currently in 3rd, trying to fight off the attack from Manuel Oyuela, who is trying to overtake him. Another mistake from Claudio. He did make a mistake in his previous race.
It was clear too.
And he had the whole field for him, but unfortunately, a ripple might have destabilized him at buoy right after buoy number 1.
Still plenty of racing though. I mean, Leo's going to chase Christian. How hungry is Leo? So Claudia might have thrown the towel in. Oh, yeah, Claudia has such a good start. He's such a dynamic racer. He just, even Leo, Christian Andersen is walking away.
A bit unlucky, but Christian Andersen on the Blitz. That's a signature board by Fanatic.
This is a consolation final, just in case you're wondering. 4 points. So the real final is coming up. Women's final next and the men's final. So 2 more races before you can switch over to the World Cup. Christian's going to win, so 5th place for Christian Andersen. Looks like the rest are just happy with where they are.
Yeah,
again.
I was really expecting Christian Andersen to be in the final though. He was really unlucky in
the heat he had. Well, same with Leo.
In that semi-final. Of course. They all deserve to be in the big final. It's a shame they don't have a big
8-person final. There's
8-person final.
There's only 4 spots. That's the way this one ran, and it's exciting. It's such a short. They did a small race. You have 8 people on there. You're not going to fit them all in. So on a bigger race, I think a bigger course, they should put more. So that's a good thing with APP. I mean, they do different races, different styles. You got to sort of be good at everything. It's not the same race every time.
Well, Leonica
He's going to try and cut his brother off. Well done, Christian.
Christian Andersen from Klitmøller, Denmark, wins the consolation finals for the men's. And a cheeky move by Claudio Nica, passing the line in 2nd, just ahead of Leo Nica in 3rd. And who's in 4th? That is Manuel Oyuela Rojas. Also disappointing from this gentleman, but he's got the long distance tomorrow to make up for that, result.
He had a great race in Paris.
And he did. So 4th. He was 3rd last year in Paris. He was 4th, last week.
I'm expecting big things.
And here's the replay. Christian Andersen, always a great starter, but Claudio Nica definitely had the best start of them all. Leo Nica was on the inside, but Christian Andersen managed to squeeze in between the 2 Nica brothers and aim for 2nd place.
He just fell on his own.
Claudio fell and Christian Andersen took over.
So thank you very much.
Tack.
Yeah,
as you would say in Denmark.
Christian got unlucky in his semi-final, I agree. Again, that is sprint racing. It's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
They choose to do it, so well done to Christian, 5th place. Claudia or Leo, not quite sure, was 6th. Probably Claudia, I believe. Doesn't, again, not really matter. Claudia's the only one that needs some points for the overall.
Claudio is probably going to score enough points to on the overall sprint ranking to take over the 5th place. That's Daniel Studio, currently sitting in 5th. Obviously, all of this will be updated on the appworldtour.com website. And coming up, we've got 2 big finals with 8 big names, the men's and the women's. We're going to start with the women's, and we've got Holly We've got Holly with Christian Andersen waiting for our goal.
Sorry.
That's all good. I can get a good grab.
Thank you guys. I'm here with Christian Andersen, who just won the consolation final for the men's. Polar Bear, you just missed out on the final. How's your day been and how was that consolation final?
It's been a good day. Like, it's a tricky course. It's hard with the beach starts, but it's been getting better and better every heat, and it's very close to making that final, but Shrimpy and Connor were just better than me today, and I'm stoked for them to be in the final. I'm excited to watch it, but it felt good to finish off with a win here in the consolation final.
And how are you feeling about tomorrow, Polar Bear?
I feel good. I'll get a good night's sleep, and I'm ready to give them all. It's the last race of the season tomorrow, and I'm just excited for it.
Thank you so much, and back to you guys in the studio.
God, last race of the season. That gave me goosebumps right away, Travis. You know, I feel, it's been such a long season.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, coming up the final, Mélanie Lafenêtre, Alba Alonso Frey, the underdog who's just won her semi-final, Juliette Duhaime from Argentina, and Cecilia Pampinella. I'm telling you, this is a stacked final with 4 different countries being represented by 4 very talented.
Who do you fancy?
Well, after seeing Alba, I don't know what to think anymore, because Melanie and Cecilia were probably my favorite for a sprint race. Yeah. But what Alba has just done to Cecilia precisely and to April Zilk is just unbelievable.
She's going to lose on the turns. She's going to lose out on the turns a little. So we'll see though. She could get in front and block them by accident or just by the nature of the course. So. We'll see.
So you reckon the April and Cecilia were a bit stunned and didn't react in time? Now that the girls have seen what Alba was capable of, they might
yes.
They might
they
prepared for that.
They're more ready for it. They might see the weakness in the turns.
Yeah.
And know that's a good time to attack. However, turns are hard when you're exhausted. To get in that, it's a powerful position, which someone like Shrimpy do too well. They're hard to turn, these 14-foot boards. I mean, the girls have got to get back, you got to throw your weight on the tail. It's really difficult. Shrimpy makes it look easy, but they're very difficult turns. Yeah. Even the men, when they're fatigued, have a hard time turning, or they'll fall in, like Claudia, one of the best paddlers in the world. So,
Juliette Duhaime,
we'll see what
got
happens.
that little grin on her face, feeling pretty confident. She's been so consistent this year. She's was always on the podium at every race. Mélanie Lafenêtre, the new sensation of 2022, with a European title, with a world title, a few ISA podiums as well. Alba, the new name not just for this year, but for this weekend.
Yeah.
Alba Alonso Frey from Fuerteventura, who's just done something out of this world in her semi-final. And Cecilia Pampinella, very, very strong junior athlete, who's won everything, I'm saying everything, in any international junior competition under any federations, and also winning, let's not forget, a 4th place at the ISA SUP Worlds in Puerto Rico in the sprints precisely. So Cecilia Pampinella from Italy, definitely one to watch as well. It's definitely going to be
final.
An intense final. Oh, watch out, Mélanie Lafenêtre. Oh, almost made a false start. You don't want to do this. You need to be focused. One false start for the French lady. She's laughing, so let's make sure she doesn't lose her concentration. There are 4 different board brands actually: 45 Pro, NSP.
Oh, Alba, good start. Very good start by Alba. And Cecilia.
Yeah. And Juliette Duhaime currently sitting in 3rd on the Infinity. Great start by Alba. Is she first? Is she first right now? I think she is.
Alba's in the white and Cecilia in the yellow.
Alba in 1st position right now. Mélanie Lafenêtre in 2nd in red. Cecilia Pampinella in yellow in 3rd, and Juliette Duhaime in 4th. But they are very, very close together. Alba has made
big bit of a gap.
A great performance already, reaching that first buoy.
Good turn. Very good turn.
Great turn, fast turn in a couple of strokes. Juliette Duhaime stuck in 4th right now on the Infinity board. So on starboard, Alba Frey, an unknown rider until today, at least on an international level. Well, she did made an appearance, yes, at the ISA SUP Worlds in Puerto Rico. She finished 7th. And I think that was because of a penalty, so she could have done a bit better. She is currently, that
forehand turn.
That front side turn is not.
Melanie didn't take advantage. She should have taken advantage.
Exactly. They should. That's exactly where they should have made their move, taking the inside there. But Mélanie Lafenêtre is still there in second place. Juliette Duhaime might be making her way to third, but no, Cecilia Pampinella is fighting back. Cecilia Pampinella, the junior girl, in third place. So it's still Alba Alonso Frey. Can you believe this? On the last sprint race of the APP World Tour, we've got an unknown rider at the front of the race, and she's got a great stroke. Look at that power. And Mélanie Lafenêtre in second place right now.
She's going to walk away with this, Mathieu. She really is.
Is she?
This is a hard turn. This forehand turn for obviously more fatigue.
Now you have to take. If Mélanie go on the inside, that's too late already. That's too late already. So maybe Mélanie, she's got one more chance, one more buoy to potentially overtake. Oh, someone gets stuck in that fourth buoy. That's Juliette Duhaime. Still in fourth.
Melanie's going to have to go on the inside here and hopefully for a bad backhand, but no, this is an easy turn.
Oh, that's a fast turn, fast backside turn by Alba.
Alba's going to walk away.
Here comes the big sprints.
Very strong, very strong. Wonder if she'll give April a run for her money tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I doubt.
What is she worth in the long distance? We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know.
Continue this.
Alba Alonso Frey. Remember this name. She is currently winning the sprint race on day one of the Alicante SUP Open APP World Tour event here in the Playa del Postiguet. Mélanie Lafenêtre second place, Cecilia Pampinella third, and Juliette Duhaime scoring some very important points in fourth from Argentina. What an incredible
dominant
piece of racing we've just witnessed from Alba Alonso Frey.
No, they're very good. She's paddled very well. I mean, if she's only new to this sport, she becomes efficient in the marathon. I mean, she might be able to hang on to someone like April. However, she might not like the wash. You know, who knows if they're very new. But she definitely showed Melanie. Look out.
Yeah. The only question I have now is why is she making an appearance right now? She just discovered the sport. Is that what it is? We need to have that story from incredible story from Alba Alonso Frey from Fuerteventura.
Great start.
Yeah, it looks like she's been doing for the past 10 years.
Yeah, well, her background is you can see very powerful, very controlled, not wobbly at all. Very strong position.
Deep, very deep as well. She really knows what she's doing. I wonder who trains her.
She's definitely an athlete. I well done to all the girls, to be honest.
Wow.
That was a good race.
Amazing.
Short.
Women's
short
final.
And sweet.
And I think Holly is with our big champion of the day, Alba Alonso Frey. Over to you, Holly.
You can have multiple beers, I'm sure. Now? Thanks, guys. I am here with sprint champion of the Alicante SUP Open, Alba Frey. It's her first ever APP event. She started racing this year. Yeah. I can't believe it. Can you believe it?
Oh, actually, I can't believe it right now where I am.
And how was the heat? How was the final?
Wow, so strong. But I was so lucky. I have a really good start. So I tried to keep paddling, don't stop, and was good for me. Yeah.
And your first heat of the day, you had a tumble. You know, we kind of thought you were out the race, and then you've come back in an amazing comeback.
Yeah, I was really unlucky in the first heat. I fell, and then was so negative thoughts in my head. But I could do it better in the next heat, and here I am.
And sprint champion, how do you feel?
I don't know. I can't believe actually I am. In the ISA I failed too in the start, so it's like a good feeling right now.
Well, congratulations, Alba. Back to you guys in the studio. Can we just get a quick one for social media? Super quick.
Only a few months.
Incredible.
And she is now an APP World Tour event champion in the sprints. Wow, after winning very comfortably her semi-final and now her final. She's on one of her few international appearances She managed to take the crown today.
Okay.
Fantastic, Alba.
Main event.
Now coming up, we've got a big men's final coming up here in Alicante with Itzel Elgado, with Connor Baxter,
Shrimpy.
with Shrimpy, and with Arthur Aritkin. So 4 different countries being represented
4 different
here
boards.
in Alicante. 4 different board brands as well. We've got Starboard, we've got Fanatic, we've got Infinity, and we've got NSP. Peru, Japan, France, and Hawaii.
Yeah.
And and the favorites would have to be Connor Baxter.
I mean, yeah, it'd have to be. I mean, if he gets clean water, Connor's gonna win it, walk away. But if he doesn't get clean water, like we saw with Christian Anderson in the heat in the semi, so Arthur, well, Connor's on the outside. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, not the best position for Connor, and we know that Shrimpy can do those radical turns that can make a whole difference, even in a 300-meter course.
Shrimpy's going to get left behind in the start, I think. These other guys are they're bigger, they're grown men. They're going to just have a little bit more power off the start. You know, let's hope he can hang on for a 16, 17-year-old kid. This is phenomenal. It's incredible. Connor did the same thing when he was young. Arthur Arukin, same thing. They were, you know,
absolutely.
They were skinny kids that could keep up, but you know, I'm going for them all. I like, I always to race all 4 of these guys myself.
Look at Connor.
They're all very competitive. The wind didn't. They got to run deep.
Great start by Connor. I think it's he made it.
Look at this.
Best move by Connor Baxter. But look at Shrimpy.
Oh, Connor's
great start by Shrimpy. He's got the inside, but Connor
flying. Got half the stroke rate of Shrimpy.
He has to. He knows he's got to be at the front for sure.
Oh, Arthur had a bad start.
Shrimpy sitting currently 4th in the overall ranking. So obviously being first in this race for Connor Baxter is super important. He is first at the first. Oh, Shrimpy almost fell, but he recovered at the last minute, last second.
On the inside, gave him a little sniff. Itzel's not going to, I mean, Itzel's hungry, so Shrimpy, I mean, actually Itzel and Shrimpy have got a battle for, Itzel will beat him in the sprint title overall. So Connor's going to walk away. I can't see anything happening. He's going to have no interference. He's going to have no...
Well, the 3 guys are in the top 4 in the overall rankings of the APP World Tour, so surely there is definitely something going on in terms of... Oh, Shrimpy going wide all of a sudden.
No, I think he got hit by Itzel, but again, Itzel has been very impressive.
Yeah. Will Itzel be able to take over that second position?
We've got 3 more turns. I mean, Connor's walked away as we expect, clean water. He's a freak in the sprints.
Connor Baxter. Wow, textbook turn again.
Here we go.
A bit wide, if I may, because let me see what Shrimpy does.
Shrimpy's backhand, Itzel forehand, so got a gap, which means this turn here, this will be Shrimpy forehand, Itzel backhand. With Itzel's, this is his turn to make a move. So Connor on his forehand turn, you can see how much harder. Shrimpy's got 2 backhands? Am I seeing that right?
Does he switch?
Does he do switch stance?
Switch side? It does.
Gee, I know that's next level. That's actually impressive.
Wow, can you do that, Travis?
I saw, Itzel, he's ran out of gas.
Ooh, Itzel got in 4th position with Arthur Aritkin taking over the 3rd.
Backhand, yeah, Shrimpy has 2 backhands.
Wow.
That's how you do it, my friend.
Incredible, and the race is not over. With 10 meters to go, 10 meters between Connor Baxter and Shrimpy, but Connor Baxter is pushing really hard, but Connor in the lead. Arthur Aritkin trying to take a 2nd place, but no, Shrimpy is resisting the Frenchman's attacks
too, which is not good for his points, so this helps Connor overall.
And it is another win for Connor Baxter.
Well done.
Wow, 3rd sprint win in an APP, in this year's APP World Tour.
He's dizzy. Shrimpy in 2nd, looks like Arthur 3rd.
Arthur 3rd.
And Itzel, I mean, to make the final, he had to battle for every second for that final.
Well,
I'm going to watch pro replay real quick on that. Yeah, you can see how hard it didn't look like he was going that hard, right? But it's. I mean, you're at your max. You're at your max for the 3 minutes you're out there, and not even 3 minutes, 2.5. Well done, Shrimpy. Well done, Itzel. Well done, Arthur. I mean, well done to the top 8 men, to be honest.
Wow, to stay on top of the world like that for so many years, and keep getting some world titles is just an unbelievable feat by Connor Baxter. Very impressive what he does, and obviously as the years go on, the experience is always even stronger.
Watch Shrimpy start. Ready? He bunny hop, straight on.
Yeah, Itzel lost balance.
So yeah, we see Shrimpy has a backhand, but Itzel board hit him. Shrimpy has 2 backhand turns. That's brilliant. I mean, it's like all the good snowboarders. They can ride switch and goofy.
Yeah, I think
that's going to have to be the new norm soon.
Yeah,
it is 2 backhand turns. It's way faster.
Yeah, who else do you know who does that?
No, I don't yet. It's the first time I saw it myself.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow,
they're all gathering
fantastic.
Behind us.
What a great result, Connor Baxter.
I'm guessing we're going to go to Holly soon.
With this win, he basically is the sprint world champion. We're going to have to wait for tomorrow's race to find out whether or not Connor Baxter is the overall world champion. But let's. We did the math earlier on. Basically, if Connor does worse than 8, then he can be in trouble tomorrow for the overall title.
Correct.
But if he does less than 8, he's the world champion.
So Connor
Baxter has to do.
It's Connor's to lose.
It's Connor's to lose.
Tomorrow.
Exactly.
He has to have he had a good sprint, which he needed. If he has a good marathon tomorrow, he wins the overall.
Absolutely.
Is Holly going to talk with her or no? We haven't heard anything yet.
I'm not entirely sure. I think it's for us to close this great show. It's been 4 hours of non-stop sprint racing here in Alicante, and we've got more coming up tomorrow. I believe from 11:15 a.m. local time, we've got the long distance for the Elite APP World Tour, and that will be just as Christian Anderson said, the last race of the season as far as we're concerned.
On that, Holly's ready with Connor on the beach. Holly, let's see what the race winner has to say.
Is she?
It's coming.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Connor Baxter, Alicante SUP Open Sprint Champion, overall Sprint Champion, and maybe soon to be World Champion. Connor, talk us through today.
Oh man, I was handed the least ideal option and opportunity with the outside lane pick, and just kind of still coughing up and spitting up stuff from Paris last weekend when it was so cold. So not ideal, but God made the situation ideal for me and guided me across the finish line in first.
Absolutely, and coming first today pretty much secures your world title. Is that in the back of your mind?
Oh, of course, that's always in the back of mind. I mean, this year I came into it with one goal, and that was to be the best sprinter in the world, and I didn't lose a single sprint, and that proves.
Well, congratulations, Connor. How are you feeling for tomorrow?
Feeling ready for off season, feeling ready for the final race, and to be here in Alicante, Spain with wow, what a huge turnout, and all the Groms and the juniors, the women. It's a stacked event, so really excited to be wrapping things up.
Well, congratulations again, Connor. We'll see you tomorrow. Back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah. Well congratulations, Connor. That's amazing. Yes, we are as excited as him to be coming back tomorrow for the long distance, the last race of the season.
See how happy he was. I mean, he tries hard for these wins. Like I know how ecstatic he is when he wins. Even though he's won a lot, it's still like he's over the moon. His hard work paid off. He was sick all week. He wants to win this overall APP thing. He's going to rest well tonight. He's not watching any football. He's going to he's going to try and win this tomorrow, and so we'll work out how he can do that and let you guys tomorrow know before the race.
Yeah, and as you said, all he has to do is to cover Itzel Delgado, basically.
Yeah.
So if Connor Baxter does top 8 tomorrow, he is the overall world champion, that we know. So make sure to tune in tomorrow from 11:15 a.m. for the last race of the APP World Tour 2022. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this sprint marathon with you.
Thanks for tuning
Travis.
in. Thank you, Matthew.
And thanks for watching. Obviously, share those live streams on social media. Let's grow our sport together with a lot of sharing. And see you tomorrow in Alicante for the last race of the season.
What do you say in French and Spanish?
Adios.
Adios. Thank you.
Hasta mañana.